Wow. But, yep. Ain't it ain't it good to stream? That's what my mom always says. Oh my god. I'm not wearing any glasses. I'm not wearing any glasses because, well, I think it's just been getting harder. Uh, it's been getting harder to look at screens with my glasses. Not gonna lie. Because I think the new eye drops I got make it difficult. They like warm up my eyes so much. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with that kind of yachty. I don't know. Why are there so many ether anomaly discs? I'm just saying. I mean, like, there's only two, but like the fact that there's two, the fact that there's two makes me feel like, you know. Look, see, I'm learning that yes, who you put in a certain order in your team does really actually matter. But am I gonna actually do anything about it? Not really. I don't know what to do about that. I actually killed that thing? Holy moly, I actually killed that thing in time. That's the first time it's ever happened. Well, miracles do come true. What the fuck? It's been so long since I've actually like legit farmed for discs, cause that I had those like prepaid pass cards, and I used to buy them, even though everyone's like, don't buy them because they're like useless, and I kept buying them because I was just like, why not? Maybe one day it'll come become useful. And I was right. I was right. I read it right on the economy, and it paid in dividends. And I've never used like a single ether battery, I think. So it's just like, damn, I was right to save. I was legit correct in my assessment of the economy. Holding, how do I say it? What's the terminology? Bear? Being a bear in the economy? Acting like it was a bear market was correct? Is that the terminology? I don't fucking know anything about stocks. Eat shit. Um Oh my god, 2 days including this one. I don't know. I've been touching more grass per se, and I just feel like every day is actually going by kind of faster once you like actually touch grass. If you don't touch grass, nothing really happens, and therefore everything is just very slow feeling, and then you just get really bored. Um. Oh shit! I forgot today was the reset. Or was that yesterday? See, time's just going by so fast. All right. Do I have enough for that? Should I even buy this? We'll just hold on for now. We'll just because I already bought Lycon and I already bought Grace and I bought Bernice. And I can't buy Ombi because I don't own that. Maybe I should just hold so that when somebody else comes without like out with the potential, then. Oh, that's so messed up. Okay. Um.
Afternoon. If you got any questions, come find me anytime. I'll be here.
Oh, I'm done that. I'm gonna be honest. This thing has been like here since like 2 months ago. um, I guess I could finish the Hollow Zero. I don't really play at a higher difficulty at all. I'm gonna be honest. Like maybe I should try it just because it'd be kind of funny, but whatever. Fine, we'll make some progress on it. Jeez. Um. Wait, these are the ones I own, right? Not trial use. I don't. I don't trust anything they give me. All right. I don't know what he'll do. I'm not gonna read that. I don't know why I'm yawning. I had a good sleep. I don't know which one I picked. That's why I was taking so long to deliberate. I'm running into shit. What did I do over my weekend? Well, I watched a movie, and it was really harrowing. I don't know, man. I went into the movie not knowing what the fuck it was about, and then like, and you're like, why would you do that? But like, especially that this was the outcome. But you know how'd I say it? It didn't kill me, right? So. But damn, cause like there was like a twist in the movie that was like it recontextualizes everything in a way, and like for the worst. And I was like, God damn it! When the twist happened, I was like, Oh my fucking god! And I was like, this is so shit. I take back every single emotion I ever felt earlier. Oh my god. I mean, it wasn't shit. In fact, it was like the whole point of the story was that. You know what I mean? Like the twist. Like, okay, reviewing the movie, yes, it was a good movie. But like the twist was like it had to be terrible because like that was the whole lesson. You know what I mean? But like, oh my god. Oh my god, dude. I'm like, is you even gonna wake up from this beauty sleep? I don't know what's going on anymore.
Premium support. A measure of steel slices the world through.
My eye drops are just causing a myriad of annoying symptoms. Oh, my eyes. Ah, fuck. I really gotta throw some of these things out. Have like all these eye drops littered all over the place. Yeah, they're all empty. What the fuck? That's some asshole shit. Alright. I have not tried to make friends with anybody beyond Allison Yuzua's patch. I'm gonna be honest. I did not like the not Yishu. I keep always getting Yishuan. I did not like the Yishuan friendship events. It was just like she was just trying to talk to us like a normal person, and we just kept being like, "Okay, Shifu, I love you, Shifu. You're so cool, Shifu." Like she don't want a sycophant. She just wants like somebody to talk to, bro. Like, why are we acting like this? Like she's desperately trying to establish like, you're just a student to me. You know what I mean? Like you're just a student. Calm the fuck down. Like, yeah, you're my special little student, but like, and like you're important to the mission, but like, you know, I'm kind of a busy person. And we're just like, yeah, we love you, Shifu. We love you, Shifu. I don't even know what I picked for the other one. I feel like I read Sheer Force on that one, and I'm just gonna pretend that Yishiguang's Rupture. She's gonna make me say melons or some shit. Oh, she isn't gonna make me say melons? She hates going to work. The fuck? That's like real shit. You know, Miyabi and Yishiguang did not really interact that much. I was wondering, like, if we 1v1 them, like, who would win power scaling time? Like, honestly, I think Miyabi would clap Yishiguang. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, here's the thing. The thing that Yishiguang has for her is just, like, overwhelming power. But, you know, Miyabi has technique. So I think Miyabi wins. I'm not biased at all. But, like, I just think Miyabi wins this. I think Miyabi clears. Okay, the only time I would think that Yishiguang would win is if she's like, I'm gonna sack everything. I'm gonna sack everything to fuel the sword. And if like she was that desperate to win against Miyabi, then I think she clears. I think Yishiguang kills Miyabi. But if she's not willing to do that, she's gonna get clapped every single day of the week. I'm gonna be honest. No hope for her. Like, Miyabi actually likes using the sword and trains using the sword. Her whole life, Yishiguang's whole life was about not using the goddamn sword. So, you know, who has more training? Who has more use time with their sword? You know, it's a good question. Thanks to Miyabi's dad's techno wizardry, you know, the sword in the in the sheath is totally safe. But not totally safe, but like safe for daily usage. Let's just say that. I'm also recovering from a cold, and for some reason, whenever I recover from colds, it takes like 2 weeks or something for me to like get rid of all the symptoms, which is like insane, but whatever. It's so annoying. All right. Yeah. You don't gotta tell me. Ah, I feel like I didn't pick the regular combat. Damn it. I just wanted this to be as easy as possible.
My blade cuts down evil. My spirit soars in the sky.
Now, who? Here's the thing: the real power scale is how well you do in ZZ combat, and then Yishigwan kind of clears Miyabi. So, honestly, wait a minute: does Yishigwan really clear Miyabi? Miyabi's like
Send you away.
been pretty good for such a long time, and the only reason why she gets Miyabi is not played as much is because there's so after she was made, they made so many enemies that are resistant to freeze and not weak, ice weak. I think the question is who's easier to brute force. I think like if they were both put in terrible matchups, which character brute forces more easily? And I would have to probably say Yishigwan just because of like how much more recent she was as a character. So they like, you know, the inevitable tides of power creep.
Free as the skies.
Now I downloaded ZZZ on mobile so I could check my dailies on mobile as well. So, but like, here's the thing. Damn, trying to play combat on mobile is so scuffed. I did manage to get like 20k on like the last Deadly Assault on my phone, but like for each one, but honestly, that was kind of difficult. It was difficult, and I could have gotten a better score with less effort if I just used my computer. But some people don't have the option of like a computer to play ZZZ on, so like, you know, I commend those brave warriors. I don't know how to dodge this person, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Leave it to me.
You have to dodge so early. That's insane. Oh my god. I'm a late dodger. I've always been a late dodger. I think it's because one, my reaction time is kind of shite, and also it's like in a lot of games I play, dodging at the very last minute is like the most beneficial thing you can do. It's like the optimal way to dodge, like FPSs and stuff. So they stay around and use more resources on you for something that's like.
An opening.
Okay. Can I just like summon my white one, bro? Okay.
This is it. No sleeping on the job. The Qingming's might rends the heavens. It's recovered. Smash them.
You have to dodge so fucking early. It's like it's so against all my instincts.
Stand down. Cut through darkness. Good form.
Thank you, Shishiguang. You're so nice to me. I think I had to watch like somebody play this thing in order to like understand when the fuck do you dodge. It's just like I don't know. It just goes against all instincts. Like,
The world through.
because like when I play Overwatch, it's
Split the heavens.
you try to like delay as much things as possible
Got one for complaint.
so that like they stay around in worse positions for longer. If you occupy their time more, then it's like the name of the game to do that because you usually win if you make them stay in longer areas because like in areas for longer because then they have to use more likely to use cooldowns or resources to kill you or to get out. So it's just like it's so weird to like actually be incentivized to dodge early. I don't know, man. Weird shit.
The sword follows my will and winds howl in the heavens.
Well, now YouTube streaming works again, so there's gonna be probably a VOD on YouTube. It didn't work earlier because I think it was like bugged on my end, not on my ends, but like the stream elements thingy that I used to dual stream, it didn't really work like for the past month after I updated it, and then now I did another update and it works. So I don't think that's my issue, personally. So, I mean, yeah, my Zenless Zone Zero kind of runs worse, but honestly, I play on such shit settings in mobile, it doesn't really bother me. Maybe it should, but. And it might actually explain why I have some latency issues. I mean, you might call that cope, like, that I have latency issues when it comes to, like, dodging and shit, but, like, you know. Yeah, my eye is bothering me. Give me a minute. Okay, cool. My eyeballs. Alright, I got my money. And I got it done on the first day of the week. That's so cool. Honestly, I was playing DOT with my new Hysolins, and I'm just like, damn, wait, my DOT team's kind of shite. I don't know how people are getting such crazy ass numbers, not gonna lie. Maybe E1 High Listens really is the play or something. I don't fucking know, dude. Like, it's just something's gotta be better in that team, right? For the numbers. Like, I just don't feel like I'm doing a lot of damage. I mean, it's pretty good for, like, Anon arbitration, but, like, you don't really get any formal rewards over there. So it's, like, not really worth, like, trying to buy characters to pass that. I just like Hysolins, so... More combat, please. Discord and solo? Question mark, question mark? Alright. I'm being such an ass. Well, this one always requires fucking rupture. And I only have one rupture character in my goddamn place. Nope. That's attack. Yeah. Okay, my generic rupture buff. Alright. Actually, okay. This is rupture. This is attacker. And what is this one? Is this actually anomaly weak? I'm gonna cry. Yeah, okay. Maybe I should wait until I build Aria or something and I can do this. No, let's just do it without her and then see how bad the score is, and then we'll do it again if it's really bad. Yeah, I kind of need to use Yashiguang. She's like my only attacker. Ooh, 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 ooh. And this one has like a lot, I think, stricter. Like, I don't know. Okay, Wandering Hunter, sometimes I feel like if you're not a rupture character, you don't do jack shit to him. And but then, like, for the Defiler, there's literally a check that you cannot pass unless you do enough DPS to that stupid axe thing. So, like, insta-death or, like, just not doing a lot of damage. I'm gonna just cater the team towards insta-death to actually succeed. Like, I'm gonna put more resources into them succeeding. I can't believe Isolde gets like 3 boss versions of herself. Haha, that's crazy, man.
And winds howl in the heavens! Let this sword array send you away! Intercept! Seal! My blade cuts down evil! My spirit
I don't think I'm playing this optimally. I mean, it's pretty obvious. What would I even know about optimal gameplay? But it's like... oh no, I have to kill this thing.
pathetically done!
Ow.
Rising tide of destiny! Light brings the dawn.
Let me get in there. Ah! My fucking ankles. I don't like this design of her. I think it's so stupid looking. It doesn't look like Isolde. Like, it doesn't have her classiness. Looks so, like, whatever. Some generic ass monster woman. Woman with a capital W. Not this shit.
Stand down. I'll be fine. Got one for complaints. Spot in the tree. Unexpected. Premium support. A measure of steel slices the world through.
Am I gonna win? I don't know why you would use Yowzel, you know, but I don't know what it does.
The sword follows my will, and winds howl in the heavens. The Qingming's might rends the heavens.
Yeah, why not? Let's party.
Too late for that.
I barely made it, but I got it with the most OP team there. Whatever. You know what? Whatever. Okie dokie. I should really just set the prefig for that team. Like, I swear. Like, I just don't do it.
This weather's perfect for a little exploring.
Like, I don't really use the Dylan team with Yishiwan at all. So,
Hello.
ooh,
Red 2493.
the hell's Panda?
Do you want me to fight? Or cook?
This weather's perfect.
Oh my
for a
god, I
little
forgot to use
exploring.
Sana in that team. Oh well. Maybe when when Ari comes out, use it in her team. Okay, whatever. Fuck this shit. I was like, damn it, I should have just removed Zhao or some shit. Ay ay ay. I don't know what this thing does, but it's cute looking, so. I don't know, just these new eye drops make it more stressful to use my, like, look at the screen, so.
This stage is mine. Allow me. Practicing moving in slow-mo?
I should really golden dodge this guy more, I swear. I swear.
Great. Inadequate. What a nuisance. Obliterate form and spirit. Your fate is sealed.
Maybe I wasn't working with many buffs on my hand, but whatever, man.
Faithful companions, heed my call.
Do you think I know how to play the Rupture team? I'm gonna be honest. Oh, yeah, nope. I forgot. Don't stack their ults like that. Oops. No resources, no bitches. Oh my god.
Swift yet still. Scatter.
Will I ever use a technique point?
Reverse shockwave. Gracious
It's almost time.
Breaking through!
Strength and finesse. Evil shall be punished.
Yeah, I don't know how to play this team. I'm just like, damn, I'm making like the most basic ass mistakes ever, bro.
Keep your guard up.
Whatever.
Allow me.
My signature duck. Wanna play a game?
Insignificant rabble. Inadequate.
Have a taste of the Yunhui Chef's unique technique!
What a nuisance. Obliterate form and spirit. Release. Clarity and security cycle.
Starlight shine, break the dawn.
Okay, that was a really late dodge. I can't believe they let me have that one.
The name of the night emissary. Pretty, right?
Swift yet still, clear yet murky.
I can't believe I won that one. Like, by the skin of my teeth, because I don't know how to play this team. I just hit a bunch of random buttons. I wonder what it's like to know how to play this game. Like, vaguely, vaguely. Do we just wait for Arya? Part of me just wants to, just to see what it's like to, like, play the optimal team for this, but... Surely the team that always has girl bossed every single time can girl boss this.
Tonight's performance is brought to you by
You're done. Wasn't too bad.
I wonder why this lady's trying to kill like a bunch of kids. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Enemy abated.
Surrender.
Cause like I'm assuming her enemy is like AOD, right? But like AOD is just like a bunch of like silly kids. Like I don't even know. It's like taking Spook Shack seriously as a threat. Like
Purging
like they'll ruin my music career or some shit. I don't even know, man. I'm not looking at the screen, so like I don't know what I just ran into. Well, I cannot see what's on my screen. This is more accurate. Witness my grand performance.
Enemy abated.
Yeah, asshole, I finally did it. I finally did it. Oh my god, bro. I finally actually got all the things. Because I actually had to search up how to do it. Because I'm like, what kind of timing they're actually asking for here? This just seems so arbitrary.
Section 6 shall pay. Come on! Don't be nervous! Careful, the enemy's recovered. Good. Resistance is futile. Time for
Just gonna ignore her.
Don't worry, I got it.
Oh, there's too many blinking fucking lights, dude.
Victory, the only option. My blade is already mind and body.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting anywhere. I'm gonna be honest. Oh,
Good
overstack.
work, Chief.
Well, it's not like the character's fault. It's more like my fault.
There's no time to lose. A close call.
Like, why are we taking like these kids as like a serious threat? I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, to your musical career. Why do you want to kill children? Okay, whatever. Well, we're just gonna wait for Aria. How about that? I probably just should have used Vivian. I should have used Vivian instead of Yanagi. I don't really want to work on that though. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I feel like I haven't really said anything interesting today. Honestly, I've just been like sitting here, fucking sitting in like a weird ass position and saying really, really obvious stuff. I don't know. Cause like if I did say anything, it would just be like, wow, that's kind of depressing, isn't it? My eyes just I keep complaining, but my eye just does keep bothering me. So how long have I been streaming? Oh my gosh, does not even have the time for me. They're inconsiderate as fuck. Okay. Oh, there we go. There's time. Well, okay. Since I'm gonna figure that out later, that whole do the last bit of deadly assault. You know, I don't like the fact that the NPCs also do this dance. It's just like, I thought this was supposed to be like an AOD dance, not like a generic idol dance, but yeah, I know what I need to do. Wah wah. There's nothing to do in MOC. I mean, yeah, there's the MOC reset, I guess. What the heck? Monday Plopper stream? Yeah, I'm just a funny guy. I'm sporadic as hell. Slash, on the weekend, I was busy. And the weekend I was busy, and what else do I want to say? I realize why I have a worse sensitivity now. Like, okay, for the past few weeks, I've been using these like new eye drops that my doctor recommended me to take, and I feel like the effects of them are kind of kicking in. And like, I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing, but it's definitely made it harder to look at screens. My eyes warm up so much faster now than like I used to on my other eye drops. But my other eye drops I used to have to put in like so often. Like my eyes would just dry out immediately. But now it's like kind of like there's like the opposite issue, but like not really. It's like my eye warms up so much and I start crying like crazy all the time. Especially when I like don't blink enough. And when I don't blink enough, that's pretty bad, right? But that's caused by looking at screens too often. So like if people are wondering why, like it's like my computer usage is so inconsistent, is because of these new developments in my fucking eyeballs, I guess. And why I've been kind of hesitant to stream in general. Like, I think these effects have been happening, like, I think it was before, no, let me think. I wasn't on them when I did the Yeshiguang stream. When I did that 7-hour stream, I wasn't on it.
最近デイさんと話してないな。 何してるか見に行ってみよう。
Your healing factor's kicking in. I hope that's what it is. I don't know what else it could be. Like, I hope it is that thing. Like, at least, like, I'm producing a lot more tears than I used to be, which is pretty good. I don't know if this is changing my category. I'm too lazy to change my goddamn category. Oh, but it's like so misleading. Okay. I'm gonna go change my goddamn category. Alright. I hate changing my category. I know it's like the stupidest pet peeve ever. Like, you're supposed to be a proper streamer. Your category's wrong. But it's like... I wish it just automatically detected the game. Okay, whatever. I'm such an asshole. I'm literally just such an asshole. I'm such a bitch about the smallest things. Okay. Why is she really dulled your senses? ZZH Sargenshi could all be under Hoyoverse. The Hoyoverse cat. I'm trying to read while I don't have my glasses on right now because I feel like that would make it a lot worse. I don't know. I don't know if these eye drops are better. You know, previously my eye drops, I could, like, my eyes dried out a lot, but I could wear my glasses more and I could stare at the screen more. But now it's just like my eyes are wet, I guess, to an extent. Like, they tear up a lot more, but like, at what cost? You know what I mean? I don't know. I have to talk to my doctor about it. I don't even know how you talk to doctors. I'm gonna be honest. You just call them and be like, I want to talk to the doctor, please, at the desk. Like, call me, like, inexperienced. I just hate talking to doctors, man. I fucking hate talking to doctors. To the point where it's just like, if I don't gotta talk to them forever, I wouldn't. like if I didn't have any health issues. I mean, I think that's everybody's opinion, though. So, like, who wants to talk to a doctor? God. And sometimes I just feel like doctors are so, like, I hate talking to doctors, man. Like, not because of, like, I know why they're like this, but sometimes some doctors are just way too self-assured on, like, what's the issue with you. So they literally ignore everything that you're telling them. Like, hey, I'm feeling this. They just don't take you seriously. And they're just like, oh, you're here just for some drugs. Or like, oh, you're here because you're just complaining about something super minor. And then, like, somebody drops dead because they misunderstood. Or, like, they just... it was, like, a malicious misunderstanding. And then, like, and they're just, oops. You know, like, I was thinking about it earlier when I was brushing my goddamn teeth. How do doctors sleep at night? Like, you might be one of those doctors who brushed off someone's symptoms and then they died the next day and you just would never know. Like, you were complicit in their murder in a way. And you're just like, well, doctors are just trying their hardest with what they're given. And I'm just like, I do admit that. Like, the doctors aren't given enough. They aren't given enough sleep. They aren't given enough time to even take care of themselves or take care... Like, how can you give them time to take care of patients outside of them when they don't even get time to take care of themselves? You know what I mean? And the fact that the doctors, well, at least in America, they have a limited amount of doctors that can become doctors. And, like, you're like, why are so few people are becoming doctors when there's so many people in school and stuff like that to become doctors? And it's just like, they, like, artificially stranglehold the amount of doctors that can become doctors because there's a board of physicians or some bullshit that, like, makes them... I'm not really too sure on the details, but a board of physicians that strangleholds the pipeline to become a doctor so that their pay still stays really high because the scarcity makes their pay high, which is evil, of course, but, like, because of the way the system is structured, it's just like, well, duh, they're incentivized to do it. We should make a way that they're disincentivized to do it because people are just gonna maximize evil no matter what until unless you break and recreate a system that doesn't make maximizing evil the most beneficial thing to do. You know what I mean? But, like, it pisses me off. I know why doctors are like that, but I still want to wring all their heads off and set their cars on. I mean, I still disagree with their methodology. So, you know, I'll be RB. Happy March, though. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's my grievances with the fucking some of my grievances, at least, like, off the top of my head, what issues I have with the medical system in America. But, like, you know, Who hasn't? Who hasn't had their little story? You know what I mean? Not even little story. Maybe like their a world-ending, earth-shattering story. Like, it's so depressing. Okay, I'm going to admit it. I'm gonna use my new DOT team because I paid for it. Yay. Well, actually, I didn't pay for it. Thanks, Spy Bucket. But, um, Nova Flare. You know, I actually really like my PT on my alt account because my PT on my alt account has E1 and has the signature, and the signature is so big. It changes everything about him. What, like how chunky his shields are, and actually like and creates like a what you call it, safeguard against actual death by letting you heal every single time he ults. That's really nice. I didn't really want to get his LC because I felt like he was gonna be power crept pretty fast. Because he was a free unit. I'm gonna admit it. Like I think he's just somebody's gonna take his place real quick. So I'd be like mega unfun. Nah. You know I never use my Herta. I feel like she's like character I use the least. Oh wait, someone's calling me. The streamer was in a very confusing call. Oh my god. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna ignore that. I'm so gonna ignore that. I know I shifted around a budget for relics to make my Noxa beautiful, but I don't. I've not used her in a million years. I kind of want to use her. I don't even use her in prize fight. I mean, not prize fight. Pure fiction. I don't even use her in pure fiction. I never tried this. Does it work? Does this work? We'll figure that out. What's a good character with this character? Oh, I need an erudition unit. This is so weird. I'm just gonna do it. I don't even know what's going on. Alright. Oh my god.
先手の利を逃してはならないぞ。行く先を照る。ほら、これが天才。
Is this even like AoE? That's a good question.
壇上の駒となれ。自分を見失って日向ぼっこしましょう。また借りができたわ。雲を払って晴れ渡る空は。勲章ものだな。
Well, this is only 9, so it's like it's not that big of a deal. Oh yay, it is AoE. Blessed be the people. Do I really want to blow him up? I kind of want to still experiment with the Sage thing. I'll blow them later. See if it repeats. I know it's probably been debunked already. Like, people already know the interaction, but I personally just don't know, so... Let me figure out... let me just run the experiment myself and fail on my face if it doesn't actually work. Do you have any revelations about M4s? Oh yeah, I did leave it on like a fucking... Nobody freaking knows note. Okay, it does work. But how useful that is, I don't really know. Honey revelations. Sparksy is so soon. Sparksy is really soon. I do admit. I do declare. Honestly, I've been looking at the... Okay, before we get to the Emphorius revelations, I've been looking at Ashvale's beta, and it's just like, oh my god, King, I'm so sorry. Just yesterday, I think he got, like, dumpster fired, so, oops. I mean, yeah, he was kind of overtuned for what he was, I admit. But, Ashvale, no. Yeah, like, it's not like that bad, but it's definitely like he doesn't really have like he can't stand on his own on like hold on. Can't really stand on his own when it comes to like being a main DPS anymore. Like here like a lot of his like main DPS capabilities were like nerfed, so I mean, I know that he was built to be a sub DPS, but now he doesn't really have like a team for anybody, really. Like, you would think that, like, okay, if he's a sub DPS for like, I don't know, follow up, then like, at least he could probably support Fei Xiao in the meantime, right? Until he gets his the guy that is like supposed to be the main the main carry in the later patches, right? But like, he's not even good for Fei Xiao, so like, I mean, that's not a terrible thing because like Fei Xiao is washed as fuck. So like it's not that. I mean, she's not that washed, but like you need to kind of be a maximizer in this game to like make her work. Oh, you have to actually like have a brain. So and I don't. So for me, it's kind of washed. Oh damn, that almost killed him. Oh, yay! Fucking idiot. All right. He's a decent sub DPS. He still has really good buffs and stuff. It's just like, is he that washed? Like, he just can't stand up on his own anymore. But it's like, what he was when he could stand up on his own was kind of insane. So I get why they nerfed that. But, you know, it's just kind of a shame right now because he doesn't really have a team. I'll use her weapons against her. Let me think. You know what? Why don't we use my new Aglaya? It's so fucked up, man. Like, I think Aglaya's gonna be a trophy piece. I'm just gonna put it on a shelf and just stare at her. Like, I don't have her S1. I don't have her E1. Where's Sunday? Where's this bitch? Alright. Wait. You think I should probably use Remember as MC just because of Cyrene? Yeah, probably. Wait, did I actually kick someone out of the other team? Okay. Oh no. Donghung is just really dark colored. Not my fault he blends into the background with his hair. Yeah, it doesn't work quite right. Herta's first skill eats all the stacks. The second doesn't do damage. Huh. That's weird. Oh, okay. We got an over, you know, grieving for Ashvale. So what to do now? What to do now? Revelations back and forth. Bit heavy-handed, I have to admit. Like, but here's the thing. I think growing up is recognizing that you're one of those people. Like, I'm not saying that I'm any exception. I'm including myself in one of those people that need to be repeated. Like, ideas need to be repeated to them a couple times for them to know what's going on. But do I need to be told? Do I need to be told, like, blatantly what's going on? No, I do not. And that's the thing about Enforce and why it kind of pissed me off when I was playing it. Like, the way you reinforce things is by, like, doing it. Oh, I forgot I have this ability now because I finished Euphorious. Let me think. Okay, asshole. I'll just get a refresh anyway. Off the Cyrene. Okay, this wasn't the right way to play about it, I think. I think I should have let someone else go first, but... Oh my god! She doesn't get her ult! I'm so spoiled by my alt account's E1. Holy shit. Alright. Whatever. I'm gonna shoot myself. Having repeated it only dulled me. If stuff was more sparse, I'd be more locked in personally. Yeah, like if they just reinforced it in different ways, other than just lambasting it in your face and saying like, Cyrene is love. Cyrene is love. We are going against hate. Cyrene is love. We're going against hate. Like, if you showed me it, not told me it multiple times, it would be less infuriating. But in order to, you have to be clever to show it, not tell it. That's the problem. I don't do dog shit damage, do I? I did not play this correctly, but I don't care. It's like only 10, so. Also, how plugged are you into the beta versions? Okay, I'll just tell you what I know. But I know that there's been the great crackdown on the people who could commune with God, okay? The big crackdown. I'm not gonna go into that drama. I don't really know, like, everything, but I know, like, the basic strokes that I'm just like, yeah, that guy was stupid. So, now everyone's kind of like, we're not gonna expect really much anymore, I guess, until, like, shit dies down, or at least the Hoyo pointed channels actually lets out the leaks they want. Because like, I'm definitely sure Hoyo lets out their own leaks. You know what I mean? Okay. Other than that, okay, what do I know? What do I know? Asheville's betas shorter than many other betas because I think they felt kind of pressured by Yao Guang not selling that well. Oops, I forgot to update. I forgot that Aglaya was the one that expired. She's a Cyrene buff that expires. God damn it. Oh, I got a reward for that though. I got a little chibi BB. Anyway, what? Okay, Asheville's beta is shorter because Yao Guang didn't sell that well because people don't want to buy into the dip yet. Is that even how you use that phrase? Anyway, people don't want to invest into Yao Guang because she might be like another Sunday or another Fugue type situation where it's like it's not really that great and she won't be really that used. Like they won't see like immediate return on investing into Yao Guang, which is like true. It's a very like they already pulled the wool over you like once, right? And like or twice if you count Fugue. Honestly, I don't count Fugue in that mess, but I do kind of count Sunday in the mess because his whole thing was like supporting summons, and obviously that didn't prove fruitful in the how Remembrance played out. So, you know, a bit of a misnomer. You know what I mean? Being like the Remembrance is like future unit, which is like I kind of suspected. Why did I suspect that he wasn't gonna be from Remembrance? I picked him up because I liked him anyway, and he supported a bunch of the units I already had basically at this point. But now Sparkle kind of kicked him out with her Nova Flare, so like now he's more lost than ever. But during that time period, I picked him up anyway because I liked him. And what else? I didn't think that Remembrance was gonna play out like the way that people were hoping. But he supported enough of my units at that time that I was just like, yeah, he's worth picking up. You know what I mean? No, I think oh yeah, okay. What was the point I was trying to make? Okay, the biggest point I was trying to make was the reason why I was able to read this on the horizon was because he supported so many old units and their mechanics. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, if Remembrance is a new path, it's not gonna have the mechanics of old. You know what I mean? So, and he best supports people with old mechanics like energy usage, skill point usage. So like in crit damage, crit rate, in a hyper carry, I feel like it's just like it's not as profitable of a model in comparison to team-wide dual DPSing. That's why they moved to dual DPS in the first place. It was more profitable because it's just like, oh, you just buy 2 supports and and Harmony as being an OP role as it is, you know, you can just stick with the same 2 Harmonies. That's the problem they had for a really long time, was just people just use the same group of Harmonies over and over again, and they got no consequences for it because it was just like, yeah, they're OP as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, people were using Bronya for like the longest time. People sometimes still even use Bronya to this day. It's just like in Robin, and then in Ron May and stuff like that. Like, at that point, it was just like, damn, like, we cannot get people to move off of the hypercarry style, and all they do is just buy Eidolons for their supports at the most. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, people are not incentivized to move and get new units because we made Harmony so OP. So then what they did was that, oh, some characters need a dual DPS now. The hypercarry cannot function without a dual DPS anymore. So like, and like Harmonies don't do any DPS. Like, a lot of the hypercarries, you would say, had mechanics that were only unlocked by attacks that did damage, or frequent attacks, and Harmonies do not do attacks at all. Usually. They don't do any attacks. So that's what's opened up the dual DPS. And that incentivized people to buy dual DPS, therefore creating a less stagnant market because people are now buying things. The economy was flowing again in terms of people just holding up with their hypercarries. You know what I mean? So then dual DPS dropped, right? And they're just like, okay, what's an exacerbation? What is a worse version of dual DPS? we need to loop sustains into this mess. We need to make it so that sustains are necessary for the hypercarry to function now. Because we can't have them just sitting on their harmonies and now they're dual DPSs, because now people have accumulated enough dual DPSs to like basically be okay. You know what I mean? Like there's Moz, there's Topaz. Why does Fei Xiao have so many options? You ever think of that? Anyway, so then they were just like, okay, how do we loop the sustains into this mess so people start buying sustains required as necessary? Hyacine was their prima deluxe, you know, how to say, they're the prima donna of what looping the sustains looks like. Because how do you loop the sustains? Well, you have to make HP or shields a requirement for the main hypercarry to function, right? And look what we got. We got the HP fucking meta. So, kudos. You fucking did it. You did it. Amazing. You made sustain a necessary pickup. Congratulations. Also, they did a bunch of other things to exacerbate the fact that HP meta was like necessary, was by making the attack of each enemy higher so that they had the more of the ability to one-shot characters. And HP meta people are like, you know, how do you say, they get hit, it doesn't really hurt because they have such a big HP pool. But for other people, they get hit, they die, you know? So like, and the PT, they're just like, okay, we did all this shit, and okay, some people who haven't actually gotten into the HP meta, we need to throw them a bone because they're dying. There is no sustain, right? Because they jumped really, really bigly when they went to the whole sustain is necessary now. Because Hyacine, like, how do you make a sustain necessary? You make a monster like Hyacine, right? And then now the monster named Hyacine is here, and basically she's like the Dylan of stunners. You know what I mean? So it's just like, god damn it. Like, we fucked up a bit. We need to throw the player base a bone. And that's why PT exists. Because he has all the updated stats and whatever. Of course, they had to fucking string us and choke us a little bit by saying PT is only kind of functional if you have a light cone that has a high attack. And oh, look at that. His like, making him base off attack was diabolical. But like, you know, they're just like, we want you to buy his LC because he's free. We at least want some profit out of him. You know what I mean? And, like, some people are just like, well, we have all these fucking LCs. You know, like me, I just use Acheron LC on him because it's, like, high enough attack. But it doesn't have, like, the comfort of... Because I play PT with the SIG on my ult. And I play PT without the SIG. And it's really big difference. Because PT without the SIG, you might have to use skill points. PT without the SIG, you are invincible. You are thick as fuck. Right? So it's just, like, at that point, you know, it's still, like, eh. But, like... And now they are trying to replicate the success of the HP meta, but they're going to pull another. They're going to pull another, but I just don't know what. I do not know what's what. See, okay, in order to ice over how Elation works, like the Elation meta, they made the Sparkle Nova Flare and gave Sparkle out for free. You know what I mean? Like she is the Donghung PT of the Elation meta. You know what I mean? So... from that, we have to extrapolate that maybe there might be something more diabolical than Sparkle on the line here. Like just like base Nova Flare Sparkle. But the problem is that base Nova Flare Sparkle, like Sparkle in of herself is a really popular character. They might not try to replace her. In fact, they made 2 of her. You know, that's saying something. They made 2 of her and made a big, good, old redesign of her, Sparksy. You know what I mean? I mean, you have to admit, they were like, oh, okay, but you know, how to say it? We can argue. You're like, but they made PT, though. Let's admit it. They put a lot less resources into the redesign of PT than, like, Sparksy, okay? Like everyone's just like, LOL. Like, PT looks no different than what he usually looks like, except he's taller. Like, I don't even know. I mean, I guess they had to remodel and retrofit everything into the big tall model, but, like, I don't know. I guess maybe they did put a amount of resources into him, a good amount of resources, but it's just like, because he's a popular guy, let's admit it. He's, like, legit, like, the #1 husband in HSR. Like, I think, like, ratings-wise, before Phanon dropped, I think. But he was always extremely, extremely popular, so... I don't know. I have to think about that more. But now they're trying to make it so that there's a whole mechanic that is like HP. Anybody can access HP. You know what I mean? Like, in a way, that's why you could use Locha, you could use Gallagher. You know, before, you know, Castaris's Best and Hyacinth dropped, you could use those two guys. And it's just like, it's not the most comfortable, but she dominated anyway with those things. I used Locha with her, and she was cruising. So, like, for a time, right? Before the numbers got brought back up and stuff like that. And all the mechanics got a little harder. So, and then Cyrene was like the crux, like the blow where you cannot use Gallagher. You cannot use Locha anymore. Because Cyrene needs that charge. She's desperate. She's hungry. And then they don't feed her enough. And then it's just like, goddamn it. Now you really got to bring Hyacinth. Right? Cyrene was like, no, you cannot skirt with the shit anymore. You know what I mean? If you want to use me in the mono remembrance, and you want to make me worthwhile, you gotta pull Hyacinth. That's why when they reran all those banners, they reran Hyacinth along right before, I think. Anyway, now the big conspiracy right now is a whole mechanic blocked. You need to buy those characters to unlock the mechanic. HP meta was kind of accessible. Phaedon was kind of accessible. Like, you can still skirt around with, he's the traditional hypercarry unit. In a way, you can skirt around with him. And we have so many supports that support that traditional hypercarry style, right? Like, he's literally, I have buffs. Give me more buffs. I hungry. And hypercarry DPS have always been like that. So then you're just like, okay, who's the guys who can get him those things? Hypercarry supports. So then, yeah, and he literally shoots everyone out of the battlefield, so he's alone. So, like, hypercarry who? He's the guy. He's literally, and that's maybe, he may be the death of hypercarry. That might be just the final apex version of what a hypercarry can be. He literally shoots everyone off the battlefield, and then preserves the buffs as he snapshots when he shoots everyone off. He might be the death knell of what hypercarry is. You know what I mean? How more hypercarry can you get than that? So, like, I don't think they would make a hypercarry anymore. I think that archetype is dead. Maybe like one or two along the line, but I think hypercarry's dead. Now what? That's my grand conspiracy. All right. Now they locked a whole mechanic under Elation. Only Elation characters could do aha shit. So, like, no, you must buy it now. You can't skirt around this shit anymore. You can't use Gallagher. You can't use Locha to skirt around HP meta anymore. You have to buy the characters to unlock the mechanism. That is the next evolutionary step. They looped in. Okay, so you had your hypercarry and they had your support, and that was a good goddamn way of living life, the simple way of living life back then, right? And then they're just like, no, we need to rejuvenate the economy. We need dual DPS, and hypercarries now have attacks, the frequency of attack linked to their DPS output. So dual DPS became a must. And like the sustains, you know, you could say Avenge Shrine, and you could say Robin. Their mechanics were also tied to the frequency of attacks. So they were also like, yeah, we support dual DPS. We support follow-up dual DPS. You know what I mean? So like, if you want to subscribe to the whole package, this is what we provide. If you pick up the dual DPS, you have to pick up the dual DPS. So then they picked up the dual DPS. Now there's 2 DPS, 1 support, 1 tank, and 1 sustain. But then people are just like, you know, all sustains are interchangeable. You know, there's no really that big of a difference. Of course, some of them are more niche and tied, like Aventurine versus Wall. Like Aventurine supports the fart team better. So like, it's just like, you know, that's how it be. But like, you could get away with Wall. You could technically get away with it. You could get away with, like, Gallagher. Gallagher was the big mistake. I have to admit that Gallagher was the biggest mistake. I think nobody really had that many eyes on him when he was a beta. But then, like, once he came out, and you're just like, oh my fucking god, he's a skill point machine, right? So he takes care of the Harmony bit, where, like, Harmony hypercarries, right? He's kind of actually allowed hypercarry to survive a little bit more. But they wanted to kill hypercarry. So then, because he was such a skill point machine. Right? Okay, there's some contradictory points to like him not being that great for hypercarry, because Harmonies cannot heal themselves because they do not attack, right? And then Gallagher's thing was like, you know, you have to attack to heal yourself, but he could just like, you know, he had an ult that can compensate for that, and they didn't hit as hard back then. So Gallagher was good enough, right? Gallagher was the mistake. But anyway, yeah, I think like that's the biggest mistake they ever did in terms of monetization within HSR was Gallagher. Okay, and Gallagher's Pog. Gallagher is cool. I love Gallagher. Anyway, okay, so so then they were just like, okay, everyone has a dual DPS, and everyone has harmonies, because everyone was stocking up on harmonies during hyper carry meta. So then what can we do? What can we do? Oh, well, sustains aren't not very mandatory. Some people even favor not running sustains at all. We need to get people to buy sustains. So then they did sustains. And that, in order to make sustains necessary, you have to make HP necessary or shields necessary in order to function. And that's by making the enemy's attack harder, and also making certain mechanics need to work with HP, which was HP meta. And now the mechanics, we don't have any more mechanics to manipulate within the base game of HSR as of now. We already did the attack, we already did the crit, we already did the HP, we already did DOT. You know what I mean? What more can we do now? You know, with the bones given to us. They can't, so they have to make new ones. They made a whole new bone, which was elation, and the mechanic is totally tied to them, and you can't do anything about it. So, and I think because they keep making new mechanisms, I think that's the final form. I don't know anything beyond just making new mechanics that would the enemy would have to either introduce new mechanics, or all the enemies are like unkillable by like any of the newer pieces of cast. I mean, any of the older cast, but like that's not conducive to endgame, and like in general that would make people really, really, really mad because it's very blatant that they can't kill anything without the new team. So like you can't do that. So then you have to just, the only way you can slide it in is with the characters, because like at least you don't have to deal with the characters. You don't have to buy Yao Guang, you don't have to buy Sparksy, you don't have to buy any of it. But you do have to fight the enemies in all the end game modes with what you have. So like, it's like the illusion of participation, you know. And the mechanics, and like the mechanics are against you, the enemies are against you. You know what I mean? And you still have to do it, but you do not have to buy Yao Guang. You do not have to buy Sparksy. And those are voluntary, illusion-wise. All right, because like here's the thing: if you want to actually clear endgame, it's gonna get harder and harder and harder as time progresses on. And you're like, damn it, I'm just gonna buy these elation characters. I don't give a fuck anymore. I want to pass my endgame. All my new older characters are washed. I don't want to be washed. And the cycle continues. Now, I think elation is the start of the new meta, and I think this new meta will be all metas going forward will be mechanic-based metas, unless they're more creative than me. But I think every single new battleship will require sustain, a support, and a dual DPS maybe, because that is the model of which they produce. The evolution of HSR's monetization requires you to pick up these key factors so that you have to replace everything with none of the older characters. Like, okay, if it was a hyper carry and 2 harmonies, then you could just replace one of those harmonies, those elation harmonies, with a generic harmony that we had before. That's not good enough for them. They want the whole shebang. They want everything to be new. You must get that new micro refrigerator kitchen combo, okay? You cannot cook otherwise. In their mind anyway, even though you could perfectly cook some food. You know what I mean? Like with just like a normal fucking kitchen. Right? So like, okay. Your destiny is to pull Silverwolf anyways against your will. I'm not gonna pull Silverwolf. I am disgusted about how like design, like how they are designed so bankrupt in design. You know what I mean? Like you legit couldn't think of anything else for Silverwolf. Like she looks exactly the same. Like PT was at least free. I wouldn't have rolled PT, but PT was free. So I was just like, okay, I don't give a fuck about the bankruptness as long as they're giving him out for free. You know what I mean? I just think that Silverwolf is just such a bankrupt design, like Silverwolf SP. Even Blade looks different. Even Blade looks motherfucking different. I don't even know, man. At least he's wearing red. Like, they didn't even change his hairstyle. This is such a fucking shame. Oh god, they made her hair longer, I guess. I guess that's what one thing she has over Blade. Theory that people have. There will be 2 elation battleships, okay? Because here's the thing. I think they realize that some people just don't like some characters and they'll never get them, no matter what. You know what I mean? So you have to appeal to a certain group as much as possible. So like, here's the theory. Here's the big old theory. Sparksy, Silver Wolf SP, Sparkle will be one team. And they will be based off of SP consumption to proc Ahas. And then the other team is going to be Yao Guang and Evanessa or some shit, whatever her name is. I keep wanting to say Yai, but it's like, that's not her name. So. Yeah, and then that will be one team. And you can kind of see like the difference in like demographic pools in each team. Like if you like Sparkle, there's a heavy chance you're gonna like Silver Wolf. You know what I mean? There's a heavy chance. They're like both kind of fit the same design aesthetic. You know what I mean? Like e-girl type beat, short e-girls. And then Yao Guang is kind of like a sophisticated lady type. You know what I mean? And if you like sophisticated ladies, you'd probably like Evanessa more, right? But it's just like two different tastes. And so how do they make sure that you subscribe to the whole battleship continuously? You know what I mean? That's what somebody's theory was. Now they could be totally wrong. I have no clue. What if Evanessa worked best with, I don't know, Sparksy? You know what I mean? Hooray. But I think Hoyo learned their lesson. When Jiao Cho came out, people were rioting in the fucking streets about that. They were like, this is really Acheron's best teammate. Oh my god, I can't believe it. I don't want to pick him up. It just doesn't fit with my preferred aesthetic for the teammates that I prefer with Acheron. Like, they aren't mysterious ladies. Look, okay, look at the goddamn screen right now. Mysterious ladies for DOT. Pink-haired women with gentle dispositions for HP meta. Like, let's be honest, okay? Like, they have realized that there's just some aesthetics that are just... Okay, I think Firefly's the exception here in terms of this, but look, there's like 3, like, elegant, dangerous ladies, I guess. This is Firefly, but Firefly's their own special exception because, like, you know, the girlfriend moded her. But, like, she was, like, a major push. So, like... But, like, you have to admit, like, they realize that certain archetypes, they try to diversify who gets to be put in the archetype. But they realize that it just doesn't make as much money. And it causes a lot of, like, annoyances with people. So, I think they realize that, like, hey, like, we can't do this anymore. Now, let's just not talk about My Day. Let's not talk about My Day. Oh, they don't give a fuck about husbando pushes. Holy shit, they do not give a fuck. Like, you would say Saedra, Phaedon, who else is put in that team? Sunday? Cyrene. This could be Cyrene. Okay, let's just say this, okay? And it's PT. Okay? Now, here's the thing. People who like husbands usually only like the one, like they don't get that much chill because, like, how'd I say it? I think if you shivvied up the demographics, we would see that men usually play HSR more, and on average, men like women, and then on average, like, if we just take down the demographic averages, then we can assume some things, right? So, like, women, I think, tend to be more attached to the character itself. And that's why a lot of people who like Phaedon usually get his Eidolons. Also, there's just not much to spend on, like, in terms of, like, teammates. You know what I mean? Like, if Saedra was a guy, Cyrene was a guy, I think they would all buy them. But, like, this is... HSR is not catered towards women. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. It's usually not. I mean, there's a sizable woman player base, so they do make characters like Phaedon. And also, they have a pet project with Phaedon because, you know, he's Kevin. He's Kevin Castellano, so it's like, oh, it's my husband, too. It's, like, personally for them. So, like, of course, they, like, made him, right? And they made him a really important part of the story, right? Because women pay attention to the story more. I think, on average, if we took a demographic chart, who reads story more often? Who's the most likely demographic to skip story? It's going to be men. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to put that out there. I'm going to bet $100 on it if I don't have 100 on me. And I don't really have 100. But if I had to bet, all right, I think women are less likely to skip the story. Um, I don't like Silver Wolf that much. See, it's not how to say though. What I'm saying right now is just um a general rule of thumb type of blank generic coverage on the demographics. Look, you like Raiden. You got an E6 of Raiden and an E6 of Phaedon. Now, I can tell a lot about you, but you're not the norm in the demographic region, okay? Like, you know what I mean? Like, most of the time when people pick up characters, they usually just pick up the one gender. You know what I mean? That's how most people play, I think. Like, either they're very widespread like I am, they're very horizontal like I am, and they like all characters. But then most of the time people are like, I usually like one type of character, sort of, like one type of demographic. So, like, I think actually I'm gonna shoot my shot here. I think more people play like me than some. Do more people actually play like me? I just pick up men and women at the same time. I don't give a fuck. I'm kind of a meta slave though. I don't know. We also have to account for that too. Just because you like the character and it's like here's the thing. I guess I'm not really the norm either. That makes me based? Yes, that makes you based, okay? Because you're not easily as predictable. Like, you know, you're not how to say it? It's just sometimes isn't it a bit insulting to be really easily predictable? I don't know. For me at least, it's a bit insulting. But like if you predict like certain things like my day to day, like what do you do each day, and you could pretty much predict what I do, I'm not gonna be that insulted because like, you know, it's the truth. I don't really do that much. But if you try to like say like my personality and my likes and stuff like that are predictable, I might be a little insulted, but it might be true. There are some things I'm guaranteed to like, but like there are some things I'm just like I'm surprised I kind of like this, but I do like it anyway. I don't know. That's a good thought. Like, am I easily demographically predictable? Yeah, you went missing for 2 weeks. What obsession did you find? No, I didn't really find an obsession, but I did watch a very a very upsetting movie. I watched an upsetting movie. It wasn't like upsetting, like I was like discomforted, but it was just like damn, like how'd I say it? There's that saying, the art comforts the disturbed and disturbs the comfortable. I was comforted. I was the one comforted. But the thing that comforted me was disturbing. You know what I mean? So like it was like and I was watching it with people who were comfortable and they got disturbed. And that was like the majority of the people there. So it's just like I did not feel right or free to say, not like right, I knew I was right, but I did not feel free to say what I really thought in that moment. So it's just like, because I was surrounded by people who were the comfortable, who were disturbed, but I was not disturbed at all. Like I was like disturbed a bit because the thing that was comforting was disturbing, but it wasn't a truth I wasn't privy to before. You know what I mean? I already knew that. I already knew this truth. So it's just like, and I'm surrounded by people who are like, oh my god, I can't believe that kind of happened. And like, how could that happen? And stuff like that. And I'm just like, in the movie, the big twist in the movie. And I was just like, duh! I don't know, not duh, but it was just like, damn, like, I can't believe that did happen. You know what I mean? Like, but it's totally logical why she did that. You know what I mean? Like, in the movie. So it's just like, it was disturbing, but it was pretty good. What movie? I'm not gonna tell you the movie because I feel like it might be too, like, I don't know if it's niche. I don't think it's niche, right? I don't know how niche it is, and if I say the movie, it might dox me. So like, I'm not gonna say it. Maybe until it dies down or something like that, and it invariably gets to more places or something like that. I'll tell you. But like, I don't know. I didn't look up how niche it was. So yeah, like if I said like it, like like, if I told you that I went to a movie that only premiered in like one place at one time, and I saw it within this week, wouldn't you think it would be like, oh wow, I can exactly find out where you are? So like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to say it. Oh no, PT. I just want to put DOT in as many teams as possible. I just want to put DOT in many places as possible. Because like, I didn't get to have high lessons for like a very long time, so. Die. Art house movie, yeah, fair. See, like, yeah, like, I don't know like how niche it is. So. It's just one of the characters did something kind of crazy around, around like the end, and I was just like, oh my god. I know I'm supposed to bring a shield for this enemy, but I don't know. I think I can blow them up. Probably. Yeah. I'm just gonna say it that. There's a new Ava coming out. I'm not enthused. I think my sister told me about that, and I was just like, oh man. And I'm like, who is? She was like, you know who the director? Like, she was like, oh, the director is this guy. He worked on the rebuilds, and I'm like, oh, and it's shit. Oh. I just don't know what else they could do about Ava. Like, I don't know why we're bringing it back. Like, why are we bringing it back? I don't know what else you could add to Ava. Like, what are we doing? Like, what is it even about? I didn't even look it up for, like, because I just, like, I was like, I don't want to do anything with this. I literally, Rebuilds was like a 20-year long endeavor, and I was like, I got into Rebuilds when the third was already out for several years, and so I was waiting for the fourth one, and then when I was waiting for the fourth one, I'm like, wow, I can't believe people waited 20 years for this dog shit. Oh my god, you must have been so disappointed. Alright, you must have been so disappointed. Anyway, that's why I'm just like, we'll just see how it goes. I don't particularly care to follow it. I'm not investing 20 years of my goddamn thought processes, like 20 years of thought for this dog shit. Yeah, same. I thought 4.0 was fire, but my taste was still developing. I didn't think 4.0 was fire because I was just like, this is Evangelion? I don't remember Evangelion being like, I feel like the main message of Evangelion was so lost in the sauce, it got like absolutely brutalized. And honestly, it was contradictory at some points. The whole point is for Shinji to continue struggling with human intimacy. And like, he just gets over it. He does like the big boy. He's like, I'm putting my big boy pants on because the world is ending. Bitch, he did not do that in the TV show. When the world was ending, he was being a sad sack of shit. You know what I mean? And like, that's Shinji. That's so Shinji. So like, when he did that, that's not Shinji, bro. And Shinji's the whole point. He's the whole point. His human weakness is the whole point. Him just growing up and being like, yeah, I gotta lock in now. Like, out of nowhere, because like some random girl from nowhere was like able to persuade him to lock the fuck in. Was it some random girl? It was just like, no, it's just like he didn't like he didn't do any character growth in order to validate that kind of change of perspective. Because we spent like 2 hours following Rei around, learning about the village because it's some cute girl, and it's not cute if it's a guy doing it. So they had made Rei do it for no fucking reason because she died in the end. She died after doing all this. So I'm like, okay, what was the point? What was the point of making her learn about the village and be around all the people if she was just gonna die at the end? Yeah, like, okay, it's a good like short film puff piece, I guess. If you're gonna like make a girl who's like a clone and like she never lived her own life, live a life in the village, like, that's cute, okay? And there was like very, very beautiful cinematography and shit like that during it, okay? But like, in the grand narrative of the story, did it really matter at the end? She might as well have been a non-character. She really might have been, because all she did, like, what was the point of all of it? It was just like, I guess we just got some really good shots of the village. Because they never address it ever again that she did all that. I don't even know what to say, man. Like, that was ridiculous. That was a waste of my goddamn time. And we wasted all that time for a character that was just gonna die. And we really needed that time for Shinji to actually, you know, become a person. Because out of nowhere, he's like, I'm a big boy now. I don't want the world to end. I got all over my human neuroses and my issue with human intimacy that every single human faces. So, because, like, no human would ever get over it that quickly because we all have those issues. That's the whole point of the hedgehog dilemma, is that we all have those issues. So getting over it in, like, one, like, within, like, one off-screen hour or something. Like, he got over it off-screen. It's just like, you put the whole point of Ava off-screen. What the hell? And then, you know what would have fixed all of 4.0? Like, you just did one change. He was the one in the village doing all the ration. If he was the one who did it, instead of wallowing in his fucking room like a bitch. See, that was in character for him, to wallow in his room like a fucking bitch. Alright? That was so him. Because he's pathetic. Like, he should have been the one doing it then. Somebody should have, Asuka or somebody. Like, here's the thing. The problem with it being Asuka is, like, she is a chained person, and she realizes it's not her responsibility to make Shinji anyway. Because I think in the end of Evangelion, the movie, like, she was just like, why are you putting the impetus on the women in your life? You know, I need to close the gap of intimacy. You need to be the one to do it, because you cannot just put it all on women because they're just, like, more inclined to it or whatever. You know what I mean? There's, like, a lot of misogynistic ideas in Shinji's head on what a woman's supposed to be doing for him, because he's a man and they are women and they're supposed to want to be taking care of him, when she's just like, no, we are our own people. I put my ass out on the line every single day, and what do I get? I get reception that I'm not the best and I'm dog shit and I'm the worst, and it drove me to almost kill myself, but I still did it anyway. You know what I mean? So it's just like, Asuka's such a boss. I love Asuka. Okay, but like, cause Asuka is the dominant human spirit. She is that. Okay, whatever. Well, Misato too. You know what I mean? I don't understand. I don't understand. They're the ones who actually pulled up their fucking pants at the end of the day. It's Shinji wallowed in his fucking room being like, and so shit, it needs to be him to take that jump to reconnect and engage with human intimacy, like with the village people. If he just engaged with the village people, he could understand what it is to deal with human intimacy and let down his fucking AT shields, but like he didn't, and therefore all of his character growth is so unwarranted. And like, why did we all spend it on Ray? He died in the end. All right, because like if Ray survived, maybe it would have meant something. You know what I mean? But like, it just didn't. It didn't mean anything. I should have used the skill on fucking Vadon. I'm misplaying this shit because I'm busy ranting. Oh, you subscribed to Prime Gaming? Thank you! Prime Gaming, more like Shinji dying. Okay. I thought 4.0 was fire. Let Shinji and friends rest. New characters could be fun. Are there new characters? What the fuck would you do in Ava with new characters? I'm gonna be honest. There are new characters? I just remember the scene of Asuka stuffing food down his goal. It's been a while, G. I didn't like it. I think, like, okay, symbolically I understood the scene. Like, it was her being frustrated with his inability to deal with reality. So she was just like, I'm gonna stuff your face full of fucking reality because I'm literally so frustrated with you right now. You were pathetic. So she just like force fed him and like, you need to eat. You know what I mean? You are not, like, you cannot just wallow in your self-pity. You need to like engage with reality. Says you have a human body. You need to eat. And then he of course he refuses to eat because he's a bitch. Like, when I say he's a bitch and he's pathetic, it's like not a bad thing, because we all are Shinji to some extent. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we have two wolves inside of us. It's Asuka and Shinji. You know what I mean? They're representative of the two sides of human duality. Like, extremely prideful and extremely negligent, and like, like they're like two sides of narcissism, I think. Like, in a way, like, it's the two sides of narcissism. There's the a type that everybody knows, which is like, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best, and that's Asuka. And then there's the other type of narcissism. It's the two extremities of like, it's the two extremities of the human psyche in a way. You know what I mean? And Shinji's like the other type of narcissism. It's like, I'm pathetic, validate me because I'm pathetic. And it's just like, both of them have like a hollowness in the inside that needs to be dealt with in a way, because they will just lead to their own self-destruction. And because those two wolves try to interact with each other, especially EOE around the end, you know what I mean? Like, because they're representative of the two sides of humanity, it's just like, they realize that like, Asuka is the first to lay down her weapons. Asuka's the first one to realize that like, it's not right. It's not right to live like this. Like she is not the best. It was a delusion to think that she was the best, and she realizes that like she can't continue living like this. But then like Shinji, here's the thing, like Shinji is in denial. It is very, very long denial phase. In fact, the whole instrumentality is a denial phase until he realizes at the end that he cannot live like this either, and that's why he tells Ray that like Mega Ray, yo, let's not do instrumentality. She's like, yeah, bet King, all on your word, G, and then she leaves. And then they don't merge into one Fanta suit. Alright? But he like still struggles with it because he tries to choke Asuka on the beach. Right? Like, he's the one who said that, but he also turns around and is just like, no, like I don't like why don't you give me what I want? Like, validate me. I'm not, like, tell me I'm not pathetic, even though I think I'm pathetic. But she's just like, I could give you everything. I could give you my life. You could choke me to death. Like, she's not gonna fight. You know what I mean? She decided not to fight. She was just like, you can take everything from me. You can kill me. I could not give you what you wanted. And that's why he let go. He could not choke her because he realized that everything that he's asking for is from himself. She cannot give him that. So, oh my god, it was so good. Not for the rebuilds. Qualification necessary. Alright. Like, the problem with the rebuilds is like it's fucking around with the skeleton of something they could never recapture. You know what I mean? Like, it just pisses me off seeing them like just like, oh, I should have used a sage roll. Oh well, whatever. Fuck my life. This thing's gonna die anyway. That's my issue with the rebuilds. It's like they puppeteer around a fucking skeleton, but don't really understand why the fuck Ava was so successful in the first place. Like, in terms of human communication. Maybe it's the age of internet slop. I don't know. But they really got too tied up in the sci-fi bit of it all. And like the pop culture type references, like, not the references, but like very surface level readings of like human psychology. You know what I mean? And like they made, like, the fact that they made Gendo redeemable was just like, oh my god, what the hell is wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like, Gendo in himself is not supposed to be redeemable because it's validating everything that he was doing. Like, that it was reasonable for him to do all of that. Like, no, it wasn't. And he got to be happy. He got to have a good ending. I can't really remember what happened in 4.0. I tried to erase it from my mind. But I know that he has a happy ending at the end. Because, he gets to be reunited with his wife in the big sea of humanity. You know what I mean? Bitch ass, he should have just fucking died. I hate this guy. That's why he died! He died in the regular series! He died and he turned into Fanta too! Because that's where all humans were gonna end up, but like he as his last act on Earth, he died! He was betrayed. He was betrayed by the one thing he was trying to create. In 4.0, he made his cake and ate it. In 4.0, the cake rejected him. That was the right thing to do because the thing he was doing was wrong. Ray was like, fuck you, you don't get to decide instrumentality. Shinji does. Bitch. Because he was wrong. I'm just gonna bring break. There are some Ava Trefs at Plan Arc. Oh, Ava Refs at Plan Arcadia? Probably. There's so many Ava references like everywhere in Hoyo. They love fucking Ava. They had a collab with Ava. They had the Asuka battle suit, and like Asuka, and then like they had an Asuka skin. They had a Shinji skin, I think, for like in HI3 though. I don't know if they would ever collab in. Like, of course they would always be. I think they would always be open to collab in HSR because like they've just always been such big fans. But
生きるために見とれてしまいましたか匂いますね燃やし尽くす
why is this guy so loud in comparison to everyone else? I'm gonna be honest with you. That's not enough to break the stupid peacock. I'm literally gonna kill myself.
記憶の墓はもうフィナーレなんて美しいの
I don't know. Like,
これはただ生き
and
る
like,
ために
I don't want to compare two bad bitches, but one of them's not really a bad bitch, okay? But like, if we have to see about like the clarity in like Ava's message, it is so much more concise and clear and impactful because it's shown in multiple ways, and like literally all the characters are built around it. But like when you compare like the message of HSR, you're just like, oh, I don't even know, bro. Like, I know I was bitching about it last stream, and I went into also a bit of a depressive spiel, I guess, when it comes to like, is this even meaningful? But like, I still am kind of asking those questions, but at the same time, I'm just like, I don't really know. Kidnap.
生きるために骨に刻んでください服を分かちましょう匂いますね
I don't really know which board I should be hitting more.
裏切るのですか
I can't believe Firefly's getting an overflare though. Really, this soon? Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, Break is not struggling right now, but I guess they're gonna struggle less. I don't know. Can't believe that thing is 1 HP. Maybe I shouldn't have hit the middle one.
進行すべてが燃え尽きるまでファイアフライ燃やし尽くす見とれてしまいましたか記憶の墓はもフィナーレなんて美しいの
I don't know. So is the new Ava actually gonna have new characters? I don't know. I guess it could be like a Gundam type thing. Like, you know, like a Gundam doesn't always follow the same characters. It's just so weird because like Ava's so intrinsically tied to like its characters that I just don't know how they go about it. Like, what other story can you tell? Like I never really cared for the world building in Ava because the whole point of the world building in Ava is because like the world is Shinji, Asuka, right? Like, it was very more of a character-driven story than a world-building story. So I'm just like, call me unimaginative, but I just cannot really like see like what's the point outside of those characters to re-explore the Ava universe. Like where would we even be? Like, are you saying that like we wouldn't be in like we would be in a different district or something? Like section, we were like in section 8. You think there would be like we'd see like section 10 or something? But like that's so far away from the action. Are we gonna just take like a life of a pedestrian or something? Or like they're gonna be like the new child or something? Like totally Ava's just totally rewritten. There's Section 8 and everything like that, but like Gendo doesn't exist. Nobody really exists in there. It's just like the shell of the same thing. And then like I don't know. Like it doesn't really make sense to do that. Like I was never really intrigued by like the Ava universe. Yeah. I guess like the Lilith and the Adam thing is kind of useful, but that's like sort of tied to the whole reason why that's kind of interesting and important is that it ties to Gendo and Shinji, where it's like they want to return to the mother because like everyone wants to return to the mother. Asuka's backstory is that she wants to return to her mother in a way because like her mother killed herself. You know what I mean? Like she was heavily traumatized with the fact that her mom was taken away from her. You know what I mean? And in the end, when she in EOE, she was like, "Oh my God, Mom, you were with me all along." Like it's her fighting her mother again. So like that was kind of the whole point of like why that like that was like a parallel. See, the point of Ava is that it's like a type of genre. I totally forgot what it's called, but it's like the world ends when the characters end. You know what I mean? Like the world is reflective of the characters. So that's why like every single conflict that Shinji runs into is world ending, right? Because like if his world ends, the world ends. You know what I mean? It's like very hinged on his lived experience, like and like how he reacts to things literally spells the fate of the world. So I don't really know how to remove that, like Ava itself from Shinji, because like the whole world is reflective off of his thought processes and what he wants. He literally decides instrumentality, bro. Like he literally decides the fate of the world multiple times, and the most explicit way is when he decides instrumentality for everybody. And like the fact that Gendo wants to return to instrumentality is because he lost his wife Yoi, and Shinji in himself is in the mech made of Yoi's soul that is the catalyst to return everybody to the real mother, which includes Yoi in it, because Yoi is a clone, like Rei is a clone of Yoi, because Yoi is the mother. See, the metaphor is reinforced multiple times through multiple ways, right? And it's built into the characters. And it's just, HSR just does not feel like that, man. It's like they tell you multiple times because they did not lay out the groundwork or did not even dying to be clever about it and just show you multiple ways. You know what I mean? Like, they just have to keep telling you the themes of the story because they just like, we're just piss poor narrators and piss poor writers at the end of the day, if you think about it. Like, or you don't have the devices to show us it because of the limited animation budget. Ava, they had all the luxury of showing us and not telling us because, you know, but like, because it's an anime, but like, I don't know. I just feel like HSR is just like so. It just doesn't think you would be able to pick up all the little nuances. Not the nuances, but like able to connect the tapestry. Because like Ava is not that hard at the end of the day. There might be some things that are confusing, but at the end of the day, if you think about it for a bit, or like at least have a little bit of background, you could be like, oh yeah, like all of this is kind of representative of like the Freudian desire to return to the mother's womb. You know what I mean? And like literally the end goal of everybody is to return to the mother's womb. Alright? Because that is like the one connection you have in the world that isn't, that you never had an AT field in the first place. You know what I mean? When you are in the womb of the mother, you have no AT field. You and the mother are the same organism. You know what I mean? And it is like the pinnacle sort of human intimacy. That you can't get any more closer than that if you both are sharing the same body. You know what I mean? But then once we leave and then we learn about AT fields and we develop our own AT fields, you know, to cut the umbilical cord, then we feel lost. You know what I mean? We feel a little bit lost, and we want to return to the same moment of intimacy again. Because in a way, the Mega Ray that was a part of the instrumentality is the ultimate mother. So she's saying, do you want to go back to the womb? And that's why the Fanta thing is all water. That's why the instrumentality is all based on water, because you're swimming in the womb. Okay, oh my god. Okay. Shinji's story is certainly his. It could be just some POV for Karu. But Karu's not a person. Okay, as much as I love Karu, he's not a person. The whole point is that he never had an AT field to begin with. That's why Shinji falls in love with him. Alright? Yeah, it could be two ways butts about it. Like, oh, Shinji's not actually gay. Nobody could resist being gay for Karu. You know why? Because he's not actually a dude. You know that, right? Like, he's representative of the father as well. Like, he's representative of the father, right? But, like, how do you say it? The father and the mother become one at the end in Evangelion, at the end of Evangelion. Because Rei takes any form that she wants, but she just looks like Rei. But remember when Shinji ascends to heaven and she holds him in his grasp? He also turns into Karu. And when he turns into Karu, Shinji is more accepting of accepting Rei's embrace. So, like, he freaks out when he sees Rei, but he likes Karu. So when Karu appears, he's just, oh, hell yeah. Look, see, here's the thing. Alright? It does matter that he's a dude. It does matter that Karu's a dude. But it's only used to further reinforce the fact that Karu is not actually human. Alright? Karu, like Shinji... Okay, let's imagine this, okay? Shinji is desperate for any human connection whatsoever, right? Like literally anything. Karu here has no AT field. This guy automatically is just, I love Karu. Like, because Karu I don't have to struggle with forming human intimacy connections. Is incredibly easy with him because he is not human. All right, he doesn't have an AT field. Like he's representative of okay, he might have an AT field just because he's human, right? But like he has like little to no barriers in terms of being intimate with him. You know what I mean? And that's why he's way too nice to Shinji. Like, well, not way too nice, but like Shinji is not confronted with any really conflict when it comes to knowing about Karu. Karu just lets him know everything about him, sort of, because there's really nothing to know about Karu, honestly. But because Karu doesn't really have. Okay, if you disqualifying the manga, I read the manga. All right, I don't really consider manga Karu to be like the legit Karu. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm trying to remember, because anime Karu and manga Karu are like really different in terms of personality. Okay, it's like the different sides of the hedgehog thing. All right, imagine Karu. He's like a naked ass hedgehog. There's no prickles, right? So Shinji is free to hug him all he wants in the anime. In the manga, Karu is not a naked hedgehog. He is a slightly spiky hedgehog, but he keeps trying to hug Shinji. And the manga Karu is resistant to pain. He does not feel pain. So when he keeps trying to hug Shinji, Shinji is in mega pain when he's trying to be hugged, right? But Karu doesn't feel that pain. So he just like doesn't understand why Shinji is so resistant. So resistant to being friends and like trying to develop their relationship of intimacy. You know what I mean? He doesn't understand. Okay, see, it's like two different interpretations of kind of the same thing. You know what I mean? But the problem is that this implies something. It implies there's something a part of Shinji's personality that would stand up to the invasiveness of Karu, when in reality, I don't think he would. Because Shinji is desperate for anybody to understand him. So like, even if it was from a mega loser like Karu in the manga, like an invasive fucking loser, he would have liked it anyway, in a way, because he's just desperate for any sort of human intimacy. So like, even if it was this goddamn weirdo that was coming up to him and being like, I want to know you so much, I want to know you so much, let's spend all the time together in the world. And you're just like, he's like weirded out, of course, because like socially you're supposed to be weirded out. Because, like, that's just the human condition. It's just to be weirded out whenever somebody tries to get close to you. That's, like, the tragedy of having an AT field in the beginning. You know what I mean? So, like, but, like, the reason why he never really rejects Karu in a way, though, in the manga, is because he is actually Oh my god. Okay, he is actually kind of desperate for any human connection. Even if it's from somebody that invasive and that annoying, you know what I mean? And like doesn't really respect your boundaries. Alright. I feel like I'm okay. I'm feeling like I feel like I'm sending 500-page print orders to my printer. You're getting through it. I'm sorry. It's just like, I know you send like one message and then I'm just like I throw up a bunch of other things. But it's just like, oh man, oh, Ava's so good. Ava's so good. It's just like I feel like they butchered it, man. They butchered it. I'm such an old head when I fucking say that. Like I wasn't even around when it was first made. You know what I mean? I was too young. I wasn't even because I didn't even exist, right? But like I sound like a boomer when I say these things. I have to admit. Let me think. But like I don't know. It's just like I don't know. I don't know if I'm really interested beyond like Evangelion is just like the setting and the setting is just like a device used to represent the problems in the characters, like the issues of intimacy in the characters. So like when you're like, oh, we're gonna do like a whole we're gonna use a set piece of Evangelion but like not the characters, it's just like that's weird. The characters are the whole point. Now okay, you could be real creative, right? Like I don't think that Evangelion the end all be all is the characters that are Evangelion that make up Evangelion. Like, of course you can always tell like a different story within it. Like you know what I mean? Like what it like if you just didn't call it Evangelion, you called it like a mech story and it's like it deals with like children being soldiers in a mech thing. Like I mean like Gundam already exists, bro. Like see it's possible. But like would it be as poignant? Would it be as meaningful? Would it actually feel like Evangelion? You might just be putting the Evangelion sticker on it because it's like, you know, it's a popular IP, but like, is it actually meaningful to being Evangelion? Like, why would you call it Evangelion? It could just be any generic mech thing. And the only reason why people are talking about it is because it's like, oh, you know, like it's a new Evangelion property not dealing with the characters. And everyone's like, oh, how's that gonna turn out? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I don't know. Oh my gosh. Because, like, I don't know. Like, one other IP that I kind of think about in terms of, how meaningful it is for the character, for the main character to be the main character, and like the world is kind of a reflection of it. I can't, no. I was thinking about maybe Disco Elysium, but no. The world does not end when Harry dies. For Shinji, the world, like, for it to be like an Evangelion-esque piece, the world must end when the main character dies. Like, it has to be like apocalyptic. That's like the only equivalent I can think of. In Disco Elysium, the whole point is that the world keeps going on no matter what. And that's like basically the opposite of Evangelion. The world ends when the main character dies. So this main character of this new Eva better be something crazy, okay? Like you're like, and like Shinji was actually very plain. Actually, he was incredibly plain. And he had a very normal insecurity that was exacerbated by the situation around him. You know what I mean? Like if he was just put, I guess so, in a way. If he was just put in a more fulfilling and nice situation, I think maybe he could have gotten over his intimacy issues. / the village was supposed to be that one weird place that didn't... In 4.0, the part where Ray was in the village, it was supposed to be an escape from his duties. You know what I mean? It was supposed to serve as an escape. Because he just came down from space. So, like, he wasn't expected to pilot at all. He wasn't expected to do any of it. So this is the perfect time for him to heal. Because figure out his issues with human intimacy. You know that? It was a perfect moment. Because I'm just like, the only time Shinji could really like step back and really look at it is that if he wasn't put up with the responsibilities that he had. Like it wasn't like he was dealing with some really normal teenage boy stuff, but the fact that the world was gonna end if he didn't do anything, like put insane amount of pressure on him to like not really address it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he would beat himself up for it and stuff like that, and he would try to do it, but ultimately the agency of his life wasn't really controlled by himself, and that's why it added to his listlessness and his inability, not his inability, but his dislike of doing anything. Remember, he tried to leave Nerve multiple times, right? But because he's actually kind of a decent person, he still believes in the human project. He still went back to Nerve to save the people that he wanted to create deep connections with. See, I might be saying that Shinji's a bitch, and Shinji is like, you know, like, yeah, Shinji's pitiful, a bitch, and pathetic, but like, we all are that. He is representative of all of us. So like, when I say that, I'm not saying he's exceptionally that. He is just that. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a quality of the human race. It's like a aberrant thing that most people aren't. No, everybody is. So like, that's why I just wanted him to be in a good situation. Which would have been the village, because like, it was removed from his responsibilities. He was no longer tied to actually being Ava number 2, I think. Was it number 2? Was he number 2? I think so. But like, he wasn't tied to doing that anymore because Nerve was dead. Well, Nerve's not dead, but like, his responsibilities as that pilot were gone. The conditions of the world changed too much for him to like. And eventually he had to get back in the mech again, of course. But like, it was very, when he got back into the mech, he was like, oh hell yeah, like, I've gotten over my grievances with the human race. I'm ready to go in there. But like, I'm like, dude, you did nothing that showed that you would have gotten over it. So like, you know what, he was, you know, actually hilariously in the movie, in the 4.0, I remember he dies, like, Ray dies in front of him, right? And then he's just like, Ray taught me all these things. When he's like doing his big boy speech about how he's gonna get in the mech and he's gonna save the world and he's gotten over all of his grievances. Like, how did Ray tell you any of this? She was like, Shinji, I'm done, and then she dies or something. She didn't tell you jack shit. You know what would have been actually better if you actually experienced it yourself and didn't hear them in stories from Ray. If she actually told you those stories. It's just like it's like it doesn't make any sense, because he's like, I learned it from Ray that like humanity does matter or some shit. But like, what? No, you didn't. No way even if she told you in the most poignant, most detailed way that she could muster, like she was like a master writer, and she could just tell you, like a master orator, and she could tell you what she experienced. It is not the same as actually experiencing it yourself, and therefore it's invalid. Either way, the mechanism of which he learned how to appreciate humanity, quote unquote, was stupid. It would never work. It doesn't work like that. We can't learn the beauty and the majesty of humanity if we don't experience it for ourselves firsthand. Like, you cannot remove your AT fields. Like, you cannot let people into your AT fields by not practicing it yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. This is stupid as fuck, man. He is so, like, I hate Shinji 4.0. Because they do a disservice to his character. They do a disservice. And they make him out to be like, the reason why Ava was so subversive in its day was that he wasn't like an archetypical hero that just strapped on his boots and was like, this is my duty. What if the hero ran away? You know, what if the hero actually had a pretty human response to having to save the world? And that's why people had an issue with him. Especially men. Men really had an issue with Shinji. There's like all these memes about him being pathetic back then and like being such a fucking loser. And people who don't understand the point of Ava always point out this. That Ava, like, Shinji is so pathetic and he's not realistic. Like a real man would have actually got into the mech and fucked Asuka in the cockpit while having fucking, I don't know, what's it called? Eye of the Tiger playing in the background as he killed 700 angels all at once. You know what I mean? Like that's real man. That's a real man. You know? And it's just like, what? One, he's a kid, right? Of course he wouldn't be able to, like, of course it would be scary. because the men who criticize Evangelion like that, right, are then themselves Shinji. They are pathetic. They are losers. And once confronted with that idea, the idea that Shinji is in all of us, and we all are kind of pathetic losers who just want intimacy but don't want to work for it. They get mad. They get upset. You know how to say it. At the end of the day, your reflection is the thing that pisses you off the most. Like, you know what I mean? Like, every single thing we lob at people in terms of insults and stuff like that, like why you hate somebody, is a reflective of what you hate in yourself, or like what you recognize that is not a good quality that you've seen in yourself before. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like a parent with their child, and this parent used to have anger issues, and their child kind of has anger issues too. And then they're just like, they see their child, and they're just like, anger is a disastrous way to deal with your emotions. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't control your anger, you're gonna run into very big issues in your life. You know what I mean? So like, it's kind of like that as well. It can be from like a cringe way, which is just like, oh, like I've done that once before. That's so embarrassing. Okay, like, or like I've had this insecurity in my life before. I still have it, and I can see it. When they don't realize they still have it, that's when they run into blind rage, and they're like, just like, why do you make Shinji like this? You know what I mean? But like, it's still present in you, man. That's why you're so mad. But you can't pinpoint it because you don't recognize it. You can't see it because you never confronted it within yourself. So it's just like, bro, I don't even know what to say. Like, I don't know what to tell you, dog. Yeah, all the things considered, I think they're copy Gundams for you. I like the recent Gundams, not gonna lie, because they steal from Ava. LOL. I have to stop the ABCs of Ava. You gotta stop thirsting over Asuka. I'm not thirsting over Asuka. I like Asuka, but no. I like Asuka because she's representative of indomitable human willpower. I don't like it when they make I hated it when they depict Asuka like that in the fucking rebuilds, man. I hated it when they sexualized her. Like, bro, like, we're not even gonna get into the fact that, like, the obvious bit where she's like a goddamn teenager, but like dude, like, the reason why people sexualize her is to it's because it's scary. It's scary to realize that she's a part of you. You know what I mean? Like, you've got, like, no man wants to be a woman. Everything that a man fears is becoming a woman. You know what I mean? In a way, the sooner you recognize that, the more that you can recognize that you shouldn't let these kinds of perceptions of yourself that society puts onto you control your life. You know what I mean? So, like, think about all the insults that people lob at themselves when they're like not being a man. You know what I mean? Not being masculine enough. It's just like, oh, you're a fairy, you're a pansy. You know, what, are you a bitch or something? What else? You punch like a girl. You play like you or you talk like a girl. Your voice is too high pitched. You sound like you. Yeah, like why do you sound like a girl when you say, like, stop talking about feelings? You sound like a girl. Like, the biggest fear for men is to become a woman. You know what I mean? And recognizing that Asuka, and I told you, there's two wolves inside of you. It's Shinji and Asuka. But when you recognize that there's similarities you could have with a woman, and like the woman is actually a human being, you have two options. You have a couple of options actually. You can either accept, like, see, I don't have this issue because I was born a woman. So like, I don't have this fucking issue. I'm like, oh yeah, Asuka's the GOAT. You know what I mean? But like, for other men, they are scared of recognizing that in themselves, so they have to be like, oh no, Asuka's just hot. She's just hot. You know what I mean? Like, I like her because I'm gonna put her into the comfortable box of which I put most women in, which is objects of desire. So I'm gonna put her in that box, and that's why all sexualized pieces of media of Asuka do not actually reflect Asuka as who she is. They all distort her in some way because they're scared. They're scared of recognizing. They are doing the thing that Shinji fears. Like Shinji did. they're doing the same thing. Shinji made her an object of his desires. That's why he was like that's why he kept like, of course, like naturally, you know, he could find Asuka actually attractive, but he just doesn't know how to approach her because he's bad at engaging with humans, because he's bad at human intimacy. But like also he was doing a misogynism by like saying, like, Asuka, why aren't you caring about me? Why aren't you loving me? As the object of my desires, why don't you love me back and be nice to me in the way I want you to be nice to me? Right? And she's just like, that's not my job though. Like, I'm a person too, you know? And like, the problem is that men who like us, like, a lot of men don't realize what they're doing. You know what I mean? And that's the pity. That's the sad part of it. They're doing the exact same thing Shinji did, and that's why those people who often over-sexualize Asuka and sexualize Asuka in the first part of it all often have this criticism that Shinji should just take her and Shinji should kill all the angels and be a badass bitch and work out at the gym and shit like that. They're often, the circle, the Venn diagram is often one-to-one. So, it's not my fault they're scared of being a woman. What is the person supposed to do about that? You know what I mean? So they just tried to other her, basically, by sexualizing her. Because they're too scared to recognize that she is just like them. She is a person. And she represents a part of the other dynamic of the human psyche. And that's why the big, oh my god. Alright, I'm doing the big one here, but this is why the waifu wars of Evangelion still reign to this day. It is easier to talk about stupid shit like that than actually talk about the themes of Evangelion. It's all just a smokescreen. Because all of them are instrumental in talking about parts of the human psyche. So when you say, I don't like this character or I don't like that compared to this waifu, on the surface level, you're just like, haha, like, you know, he's into, like, redheads or something. But like, a deeper level, it's like, there might be some parts of yourself you don't like, or you haven't really addressed or developed. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I like all the Eva girls. You know what I mean? Because I'm based. Alright? I like all of them. Except, what you call it? No, I like her to a certain extent, but she's kind of messed up. What was her name again? It was the scientist that was in love with Gendo, the blonde one. And then her mother was in love with Gendo too. No man wants to be a woman. It's the truth, though. It's the truth. At the end of the day, all men's fear, a lot of men's fears have to do with being seen as a woman. But the men who have broken free of this dynamic have lived the happiest, most freest lives. That's why, like gay men to an extent, why are gay men more, how to say, why do gay men have more friendships with women? It's not because of the mutual attraction that could somehow blossom. It's the othering of the thing that straight men do is the othering of the woman. So the straight man will not see the woman as a person because they are afraid of being a woman. Gay men have had to deal with the accusation that they are women because of their attraction to men. So they've already gotten over that hurdle. So that's why there's the stereotype of the gay man being besties with straight women. It's not like a straight man couldn't have done that. It's not like exclusive to gay men. All right. It's because of the thought processes that you have to go through and the life experiences you have to go through in order to actually develop a thorough friendship with women, is to not other the woman, to not other women. I'm sorry. A straight man could do everything a gay man does in terms of friendship with women. But it's just why? Why is the probability very low? And it's not like men are the exclusive ones in these issues. Women, other men a lot too. And that's why a lot of people are like, a straight man and straight women, they cannot coexist as friends. It's the sad belief that a lot of people have. Or even bi women, bi men cannot be friends. You know what I mean? In a way. but like, I think that's less to a less extent. I think bi women and bi men are known to be, they can be friends because they've already had to go through that fucking process. It's just like straight men, straight women, they cannot be friends. You know what I mean? And like a lot of media and stuff like that all over the years and yada yada yada. And the way this society structured and the way this society has those ideas, it's just like, you know, they cannot be friends. There's just so many things saying like you cannot be friends, you cannot be friends, you cannot be friends. And that's what causes a lot of loneliness. And that's why Shinji's just confused. Shinji cannot be friends with Asuka. Shinji cannot be friends with any of the women, but he becomes friends with Kaoru. He's just like, because like, he doesn't have to deal with that woman, othering of the woman. What? If Kaoru was a woman, I think it honestly would have played out a lot more differently. But like, it would have fed into Shinji's belief that he like deserves, it's like, the womanhood bit is like another layer on top of that, and also like adds to like the context, like the meaning of the the meaning of the context or whatever. But like, if Kaoru was a woman, he would have just made her another Asuka. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I love you and stuff like that, and like you know, like he would be kind of entitled and invasive to his presence. You know what I mean? And Kaoru would have accepted it because she's just like, oh yeah, like I accept everybody. I love everybody. Even somebody as pathetic as you. Like, you know? They would never say that, of course. Like, she would never say that. But like it would have just been, it would have enabled Shinji's worst tendencies if Kaoru was a girl. But because he's a guy, he has to like, kind of like step back objectively. And also, it's also criticism of like how to say it. It's a challenge to Shinji as well. Remember I told you the whole thing about gay guys having to confront the woman inside of them type beat? It's like Shinji has to confront the woman inside of him type beat as well. You know what I mean? Like that, like being a things, gayness is associated not how to say it, by society, all right, not by gay people, all right, because like we're trying to break away from what society thinks of people, right? But we have to admit that society thinks that gay men are effeminate, right? We have to admit that. So like Shinji in of himself is not a pillar of masculinity. He doesn't have that much to climb over. He doesn't really like, he's so pathetic that he's just like, I'm a boy failure. You know what I mean? In a way. Because I can't get what I want. If I could get what I want, then Asuka would be my girlfriend, Rei would be in love with me, etc. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a failed man because I can't do that. I need water. Oh, Ritsuko. Yeah, Ritsuko. Gender femininity and men. Shinji and motherhood. Kaoru now having a feel being irresistible. Men and women friendships. I typed a paragraph response to all these topics, but I don't want to strain your eyes. I made my text a bit bigger, so like it's not that gonna be that big of a deal. I just think that Ava has a lot of interesting ideas. Honestly, the water kind of wiped out my head. Yeah, I finished it. I didn't even keep track either. The water kind of wiped out what I was about to say. Wait, hold on. So, yeah, I think Ava is very interesting. And I think I'm mean to every single person on my text chats. Holy shit. You know what I do? Okay, see you around. Okay, I'll read yours. I think you're nice. I actually really like him. Partner. You call him eyeball. Alright. Yeah, they're inside the book, I think, right? So he's just having fun. Oh, he should be a pilot. Oh my god, he's living so many AUs. Oh my god, King, you got this. You got this. Oh my god, where's my chef AU? Where's that and then in My Day says that you were supposed to be the chef that saved everybody or some bullshit. I remember that. Where's that part? Okay. I want to read my fanfiction. Alright. Let me think. I have to finish this. I do that too. Freaking Arknight's copy HSR's text system, but tabbing out doesn't let you skip. You have to watch the whole text animation. Oh my god. HSR actually is winning in this scenario? What the hell? I have to finish this. What even is the highest rank? Okay, that's not it. Sorry, I'm just gonna be clicking random shit. Cause like, I can't read. I cannot read. I'll figure it out later. Shit. Oh, okay, then I have to send him. I haven't done my Ascension match yet. Damn it. Yeah, I'm not done this. A lot of people, I heard that a lot of people speed ran like Currency Wars because they liked the gameplay, so they just kept playing a lot, which I'm kind of glad for. You know what I mean? I'm glad that a lot of people enjoyed it, but I just want to take it one step at a time because like I feel like it didn't really I don't think my experience was made any better by speedrunning Simulated Universe. I only did it for the crystals. I just feel like Simulated Universe got kind of boring. To be totally honest, I think the most excited I was ever for Simulated Universe was when I couldn't beat Gepard at like World 3. That pissed me the fuck off. Okay, I'm gonna do DOT because I feel like it. I know that DOT ain't that good, but Yao Guang just for fun, I guess. I realize that I gotta spend more coins. I'm not very good at Currency Wars because I'm not very good at balancing the amount of coins I have, but I think I need to spend more in order to actually like keep my streak. Because I think I didn't prioritize how important it was to keep the streak. But yeah, overall, I will check out. I will check it out. I will look at what they have for Evangelion. If they're planning to do some like kind of Gundam thing where it's like different characters but like within the same universe, I am intrigued on aspects of Ava that are outside of Section 8, okay? Because like if it's maybe a different section or like a totally alternate universe or something like that, then maybe. And like but I honestly think that it just cannot be as good as Ava. Like it's just doomed to kind of fail. But it doesn't mean it, like to be as good as Ava. But like that's a really high bar to clear. And also, it's like it's not like it couldn't be good. You know what I mean? It could be good, but I don't think it could be as good as Ava because Ava is just a very tight, crispy narrative that plays off of the setting of Evangelion really, really well. And I just don't think that they could play it the setting of Evangelion that well again. You know what I mean? Because like it all fed into each other as like a circular loop. Like why does this mechanic in the universe exist? Because the character itself, it represents a part of their struggle in their psyche or some bullshit. You know what I mean? So like why, like, you know, and I just don't know if they're gonna have the exact same care with that kind of tight world building. And like the things to play out the same way again, you're just gonna just make a worse version of Ava. You know what I mean? Like if we're gonna keep with the Freudian thing, I just feel like Ava already did it really well. Why do we have to do it again? You know what I mean? Like the fact that the Ava's made of his mom and the Lilith is the Mega Mom, like and Lilith Ray is a clone of the mom and mom is Mega Lilith, like and so therefore like the clone of the mom is Mega Lilith, and it, like Ray being a representation that Gendo cannot let go because he made Ray into his wife, like it just ties too well together in a circular way, like a sort of like a Celtic knot. I just don't think that taking a piece of that knot wouldn't just unravel the whole thing, and then when you try to repiece it back together but in a different configuration, it's just not gonna be as pretty again. You know what I mean? Like I don't have high expectations, but sometimes when you don't have high expectations, you get to be pleasantly surprised. So I'm just gonna Hope to that. I failed my last Currency Wars run. It's the PMO I lose when we're at CW. Yeah. It's way easier to lose. I think it's too easy to win, what you call it? What's that thing? Divergent Universe. It's way too easy to win Divergent Universe, man. It called me an asshole. Okay, this is stupid. I don't like this one. Like, I tried it. I didn't get it. I don't understand what happens with that one. I'm just gonna pick this one. I kind of want to sustain. Maybe we'll trade this out for a sustain. No, we already have a sustain. Oh, hooray! I think I'm fine, right? Yeah, I don't know. It's just so... Evangelion is just so tied up with its characters. It's just like, the fuck are we doing? Like, I don't know. Like, Gundam in itself is not really tied to its characters. Because, like, the Gundams are Gundam. It's like a toy franchise, you know what I mean? But Evangelion, it's sold on its characters. You know what I mean? Like you have Shinji merch, not like... I don't know. I guess you could have like, if you were, I guess no, but like, I just feel like it's so intrinsic to the characters. It's just like, I don't know. Like, you can just like get so much money just advertising off the characters by themselves. You know what I mean? And like the fact that these products kind of exist, and like the fact that like, even more now than so than ever, we have been kind of disobeying the message of the end of Evangelion. It's just like, I'm not optimistic for the take of the people today. You know what I mean? The people's take on, like the current people's take on Evangelion, when we've so blatantly ignored the message of EOE. Like, to not stay in our fantasies. We keep resurrecting this bitch that said don't do that. We keep ignoring the main message. We just keep ignoring it. Like, it's like, don't stay in fantasies and delusions for so long. You have to go outside and touch grass. Like, I know these characters are familiar to you, and you feel like, you know, but they're not going to challenge you. Just like Shinji, you need to get out there, because the things that are familiar to you and the things that you know don't challenge you. You need to get out there. And then we're resurrecting Ava. That's why I had hesitancy in even liking the rebuilds in the first place. But then when the rebuilds 1 and 2 were kind of like the same thing, except some differences, like, I don't know. I was just, no, 2 kind of changed some things, I do admit. The whole part where they went to the water purifier thing, I was just like, I guess it could be kind of interesting. And the 3 threw it out all together, threw the baby and the bathwater all out. So, and then 4 just killed the baby for fun. No, the baby was in the bathwater for like a good stint of it. No, the baby was, okay, they threw the bathwater out with the baby in a way, but they killed the baby in 4. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out the analogy, the metaphor. The way Eve does its merch collabs with anybody so contrary to them treating them as human. Yeah, exactly. For some, they are fueling this escapism. Yeah, by keeping to resurrect these things, it's just like, it's so against the point of Evangelion in the first place. I was ready to leave it dead and done. I was ready to never come back to Ava. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I was fine. In fact, I think they should have not made rebuilds altogether. I was totally fine with the end of Evangelion being the end of Evangelion. Bitches don't listen, man. When people say it's the end, right? No, they keep resurrecting their corpse because it makes a lot of money. It's just like another thing to add to the death and decay of the society, I guess. Whatever, man. The fact that they want to bring back Evangelion means that there's something deeply wrong with their society. We do not get the message. Everybody should agree with me. Everybody should be agreeing with me that Eva should not be resurrected. In order to honor its grave and honor what it did for for anime in general as humanity, we should leave it in peace and not disturb its grave. But no, everybody keeps wanting to dig that bitch up. Keeps wanting to parade it around. Like, what is wrong with people? I don't know. Okay. I don't know. I do not know. Ah! I pressed the wrong button. Oh well, hopefully we get through this. Hi. I will. No, your metaphors are weird. I will root for Ava out of spite. You do you, man. I don't. Here's the thing, though. If we think about it for a minute, remember I said that rebuilds. I don't mind rebuilds within the context of it being a successful launch pad for artists. To get their name out there. Like, there's a lot of newbie animators that worked on the rebuilds. And by working on such an established and celebrated IP, they could advance in the animation world and maybe create more original pieces. And instead of resurrecting fucking Ava's corpse, we could get something better than Ava. Has anyone ever thought about that? Maybe we should stop clinging on to things that are Ava because it might be actually stunting our growth. But clinging on to the familiar. Have we ever thought of that? That maybe we could make something better than Ava? It's deeply nihilistic that they have to keep bringing back Ava. Because they're just like, no, we cannot make anything better than this. We have to keep fucking resurrecting a dingy ass corpse. Because, you know what? The living are not worth anything. The living are absolutely bankrupt. And that in itself is deeply nihilistic. So, yeah, in the context of rebuilds, I'm glad it happened. Like, in that context, I'm glad it happened. Because at least a lot of people were getting their names off the ground. And maybe they can start making original IPs. And then we can get something even better than Ava. Okay, it's time to actually buy some shit. Gonna actually give me anything? Okay, what's a good strat people like to roll? 4-day demigod, 4 DOT. Honestly, this is probably the best one. Because the demigods are just broke. Alright, they're like the best units. Let's just track this. Is Sampo getting kicked out? Are you legit? Okay, King's still in. Alright. Wait, is he the only dude in this team? Oh, rip. Alright, whatever, kid. Whatever, man. You can do business still. You're still poggers. Alright, I'm looking in the store, but I'm seeing nothing. I'm seeing just the same guys over and over again. Oh my god. Can I get like somebody in my 5th slot, please? Thank you. Jesus Christ. This is like 3, right? Yeah. I'm not gonna waste it on Sabo. Sorry. I know I seen your praises earlier, but like, you ain't that special. Alright. Hi, Alf Zed. Ralph Zed. Oh, yeah, I missed the A. Hold on. Yeah, Ralph Zed. Hello. Ralph Zed. 127. Hello. Get Ano out of here, Super Ava. I gotta go soon. You got a yap left in you? The only whole heart for Phaedon to win. Hello. You just know what you know. Also, by the way, like, you don't have a trial. Like, you have the Phaedon E6 to win. Like, cause like it repeats. Like, it takes your character from your thing, and then so like my Tribi has DDD because my Tribi on my account has DDD. So like your Phaedon is E6, so your Phaedon has E6 in Currency Wars. Do I got one yap left in me? Honestly, I don't. So, no, I'm not particularly optimistic about Ava, but what's one more thing I can talk about? I already end capped that one, I feel. A decent amount. Oh yeah. You know, I've been touching grass more often, and god damn it, why? Like, everything is so goddamn bright. Is that like wrong to say? Is that wrong to say? Everything's so goddamn bright, and everyone walks really slow. Does that mean? I think I just walk inordinately fast. Like I just feel like I feel like I'm marching compared to some people. It's cause like I guess I don't stop and smell the roses. You know what I mean? Maybe I should do that more often. But nah, I think I just walk naturally fast. Because I kind of yeah, I guess I just want to be places faster. I don't know. Maybe it's just being uncomfortable being outside for a long period of time. Also, I was thinking about that time I was really walking fast, and I actually had to be somewhere at a certain amount of time. So okay, I get it. Maybe I shouldn't be that hard on myself. Like I can't believe I'm already grading myself. I'm like, am I even walking outside correctly? Like unbelievable, man. Just give yourself a goddamn break. People don't think about this. So yeah, that's like a valuable lesson I've been learning recently. Is like some things are just not worth thinking about. And for somebody like me, that's like blasphemy in a way. Like I think 2 years ago, a year ago, maybe even like 5 months ago. No. Maybe maybe like 7 or 8 months ago, I would have said, "Oh, what? Not thinking about certain things, not thinking deeply about certain things is not worth it." I think you're crazy. Like I think everything should be at least scrutinized a little bit. And it's just like I don't have that brain capacity. Sometimes some things are just actually unimportant. Like not worth obsessing over because they just lead to unproductive things. Or they're just not informationally interesting. Or like what kind of conclusions are you even leading yourself to make? You yourself are not like the arbiter end all be all of like truth. You know what I mean? You might have some flawed ideas that don't reflect reality because like dude, you are what you consume, right? And if I'm like not really going outside as much as I should be, I'm not consuming a healthy diet of information. Therefore, am I even qualified to make these remarks? You know what I mean? Am I even qualified to prescribe these things? Do you think this is enough to beat it? I feel like I should at least have some other equipment or something. Oh my god. Let me steer you towards Overwatch and dip. Bro has FOMO. Okay, I did try to play Overwatch, and I do admit I wasn't very smart about it because I kind of went on a bender. Even though my eyes kind of like bothered me. It's because like whenever I play Overwatch, I go into like a flow state and I forget about like my bodily processes, and therefore I don't really notice that my eyes really hurt until like it's too late. So so when I went on a 3-day bender, don't worry, I didn't play alone. God, that'd be depressing. But like at least I'm better than that. I made it a social event, okay? When I was playing Overwatch. So God, you know, like how do I say? You're never gonna catch me being too mad, alright? Let's just say that. Anyway, I was playing Overwatch. I was sick during that time too. I had a cold. So on top of not wanting to feel my eyeballs, I didn't want to feel my nose either in my throat. It was like I hate feeling sick. So like in order inducing a flow state multiple times, it's just like it allowed me to like basically not have to feel the bodily sensations for quite a long time. And then but at the end of the third one, I had to pay in dividends cuz like, you know, the chicken came to roost and like my eyes were killing me. I mean my sickness was still there. So, and I was also probably pretty thirsty as I am now. So, yeah, that's why sometimes talking and chatting and streaming actually keeps me a bit more cognizant of like my my bodily functions. Although sometimes I feel like I do push myself a little too much. All right, give me some water. people has FOMO about thought. I think I've always had FOMO about thought. But like, I think always in the corner of my mind, I knew that it was impossible to think everything I needed to be thinking about, and the things I prioritized thinking about was reflective of my own issues, I guess. You know what I mean? Like when you choose to think about certain things, it's reflective of your own person too. So if I kept thinking about certain things that are unproductive and just hurt me, what did that mean about myself? You know what I mean? Like if I keep thinking that like, oh, like you didn't go outside today, you know what I mean? Like, and now you're a fucking loser for that. You know what I mean? Like something like that. You know what I mean? Like at what point you're just like, is that really helpful? Like, it doesn't give you a plan really what to do about it. You know what I mean? All you're just thinking is beating yourself up about being a motherfucking loser who's a shut-in. You know what I mean? But like, you don't have to make those the definitions of who you are and what you are. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you were inside for like one day. Like, please give yourself a goddamn break. You know what I mean? Like if I have FOMO because I chose to think about one thing and only one thing, and I'm missing out on all the other things I could be thinking about right now, which would make me happy. So in a way, I'm FOMOing the thing that is not worth being FOMO'd over. I should be FOMOing other things. You know what I mean? Or like not even FOMOing at all. Just like, well, sometimes you just don't gotta actually think about that thing. You know what I mean? Just have fun. You know what I mean? And that's why I think I went on that 3-day bender. Was because I never really gave, like, Overwatch and other activities, I give you the opportunity to not really have to like think too hard about things, because you're just like, well, if you think too hard, you're gonna die in Overwatch. Not in real life, but you're gonna die in Overwatch if you think too hard about certain things. You know what I mean? And the way you get better at Overwatch is actually thinking about those things, but then they become automatic processes, right? And then so you're basically playing off of instinct, and like sometimes you do have like a thought that registers sometimes because it's a very unique situation, or like, oh yeah, like, you know, I don't really even think in Overwatch, really, other than just like, I need to tell my teammate that something is gonna happen over here and there, because they don't know, but I know. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like, I don't this is a big problem, I guess. When I play in a team, I guess, I know when an ult is coming from the enemy team. I ult track in my mind instinctually, but I don't really think of the words when I ult track. Like, so I never voice it to my team, and they like all die from like the ult, and I'm like, oops, I forgot to tell them that the ult was coming out. Like, I forgot to tell them, because like, it's just like knowing the rhythm of the game so well that you're just like, I don't really know. Like, it's like informing people when the trumpets are gonna go in and come in during like a song. Like, you've heard this song like thousands and thousands of times. So like, you're just like, oh, and there's the bells, there's the flute, oh, here's the trumpet. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you're just listening to the beat, and you're just like, yeah, music. And then it's just, and then everybody's like, oh my god, why is that trumpet? Like, why is there trumpet in this song? And you're just like, oh, I forgot to tell them there's trumpet in this song. And it's just like, and that's why I am always usually the last survivor. I'm usually the last one to die usually when I'm like playing my characters, because I usually play support, so like usually you are the last to die as a support too. But like, you know, if I just communicated better, I guess, like I just thought to communicate, it would be like but it's like, it requires me to think it, you know what I mean? So it's just like, damn it, I forgot to mention. If it's taking too much headspace, I usually write down and be done with it. Yeah, I really need to do that, but I should probably do that. Hopefully Sparksy pulls. Anyway, catch you next time. I have no pulls, dog. I have like 4 passes. Rage queuing, lol. You hear the Symphony Overwatch. You are Sigma. Thank you. Okay, see ya. Bye-bye, Pie. I appreciate you for coming by. I definitely was kind of struggling to say stuff because it's been a while since I streamed, but I feel like I tend to talk a lot more about interesting things / get stun locked if somebody brings it up in the chat. And how do I say, you always have interesting topics to bring up, so like you always bring up interesting topics, so it's just like, of course I could keep talking about it. It makes my job as a streamer so much easier. All right. Oh my god, I'm a terrible streamer, bro. I can't even think of things to talk about. Okay. Um, oh my god. Yeah, but like in Overwatch, it's just like I'm, and I could not like it's like how to say with my eye problem. It's very difficult to play characters that aim, and I was playing characters that aim during my 3-day bender, so I was I was kind of doubling the hurt I was gonna get. Should I spend a little more to win? I think I can win with this, right? Oh. Honestly, I haven't really been into what you call it. How long have I been streaming? Oh my god, it's been 3 hours. Okay. Yeah, when we hit the 3 hour mark, I think it's time to end it. All right. How long is this fight gonna take? I'm gonna kill myself. It's been so long since I've played Asta. I like her voice lines sound like echoes from the past. It's so weird hearing her talk. It's been so long. Like I know what she says, but it's just like it's like hearing voice lines from a game you haven't played in years. Oh my god. Actually, it could be just years since I've used her. Like legit, actually that is just the scenario. Somebody gonna free me from my icy prison. Why does this thing have a voice? That's just messed up. Why is this thing allowed to freeze me? I swear to god. Well, it's probably not this. It's probably like because I'm like at a high rank in Currency Wars. Ah, fuck, I forgot to save a skill point. People should kill me right now. I just never thought of Kafka as a katana user. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just feel like it's so uncharacteristic of her. Like, it's one major thing I disagree with in the HSR design thing. Like, design. It's just like, I don't really think of her as a sword person. Am I gonna actually kill this guy in time? Like, I really doubt it. Don't hit Kafka, please. Yeah, I really don't think I'm killing this guy. Should I be hitting the little guys instead? I feel like I should be hitting the little guys instead, honestly. Well, not at 1 HP though. Ah, I'm gonna get fucking. I'm rolled. Oh, that wasn't that bad of a consequence, honestly. Can I please get a weapon for Kafka or something? I swear to God. Okay. I'm doubling down. Fuck it. Ah, I forgot to pick up the Sambo. I saw you. Oh my god. Oh, there we go. Oh, maximum deployables. Okay. Well, I'm gonna end stream then. It's been like 3 hours. Alright.